It's squishy.
Okay, that is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life. Hello, baby gang says this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail, and we're here in the Grove. Man, it looks amazing, doesn't it? It looks absolutely incredible, and we're playing as Hyacine as well. I honestly think that having Hyacine here is like the best thing we could have asked for after how heavy this game truly has been. And honestly, like, it really feels like, you know, we spent hours, and the last episode was just like not in a way that's like bad writing, but more in a way of just like, what the hell, man. Like, it was so emotional and so emotionally heavy, but it was torture for a couple of hours there. But I still think that they're kind of like, you know, giving us a little bit of an olive branch here and being like, hey, play as the most adorable character. Play as like Amphoreus' SpongeBob. You know what I mean? Play as SpongeBob Hyacine pants for a second there and have a bit of fun. Little Ika, man.
This was where Professor Anaxa gave us the lesson. I can still see that day in my mind.
And that was your last lesson in the Grove.
Look at this, like, classroom.
Now, each of you will head off on your own path.
Sure.
How much the Grove's teachings can help you in the real world depends on how well you can put knowledge into practice.
Makes sense.
However, heed this warning. If you ever do anything disgraceful out there, don't ever claim you were the student of Anaxagoras, one of the 7 sages.
I actually love that. I do not claim you. I do not if you do something stupid.
There are still other classes scheduled on the calendar. Are you sure you didn't?
Firstly, call me Professor Anaxagoras.
Yeah, call him that.
Secondly, to clarify, the last lesson means the last lesson I will teach you. I will be entering seclusion from today onwards to research ancient alchemy, and all my teaching activities will be put on hold.
Okay.
Ah, I see. So you're saying that the lessons taught by all the other teachers aren't good enough to be considered
I thought he was going to say that he wasn't going to be teaching for the last lecture, actually, for them. Like, you're just going to leave. Because I remember in college, we had this, like, unwritten rule of, like, you don't show up for, like, the last lecture. Like, a lot of people just don't show up, right? And the majority of times, people just don't show up at all. And what's so funny about that is that I remember, like, the few people that did show up, like, when I was there before the Christmas holidays, the professor, like, walked in and he was like, oh... They told me afterwards, he was like, why did you show up? Because to him, he was probably like, oh my god, yes, day off today. Even though, like, it's obviously their job to do it, of course. But I think, like, you know, when it's so funny because college is such a different beast, you know, and even like in America, I see YouTube shorts sometimes about people describing how college is. Like, the professor will literally just be like, I do not give a damn what you do, you know?
All you do every day is wag that sharp tongue of yours. That's a credit deduction.
Whoa!
Fine of IDs Elysiae.
Fine on getting punished for it? Oh, Casterus.
I have nothing left to say. Next.
Love it.
Please
Love
wait,
it.
Professor.
Oh, how could you say no?
According to the Grove's protocols for a cohort's final class, the lecturer should take some time in that lesson to discuss the students' post-graduation aspirations with them and guide them toward a solid path.
Do you think that Hyacine was the kid in class who's like, Professor, you didn't give us homework? I know this isn't homework, you know what I mean?
Surely you can't skip such a crucial step, Professor.
Because technically this actually benefits everybody legitimately, you know? He's like, I was almost out of here.
The teaching assistant, Miss Hyacine, is truly Professor Anaxa's nemesis.
Caster's is having such a good time. She just loves it. That's the thing. Like, the reason why Caster's is such a warm character, she just loves observing the world. She loves just seeing people do stuff. She loves people in general, and she loves every aspect of life, even like the most mundane aspects, as someone like, you know, reminding a professor about, you know, the work they have to do. It's like she always was such a warm character to everything.
Fine. Since Hyacynthia insists on this.
Hyacynthia, beautiful
let's
name.
Go through the process.
That's one of the times, I know, like, if she wants to be called Hyacin, that's fine, but that's one of those times where, like, if you've been named, like, Hyacynthia in a game, like Honkai Star Rail, put that on the banner. Like, call her Hyacinthia. That's gorgeous.
Since some of you are so eager to speak, why don't we start with you, Finan of Ides Elysiae? What is your post-graduation aspiration?
I love this. I love hearing this. Like, this is something, because remember I said I wanted to see them in college, but I wanted a full arc. But yeah. Yeah, I think what was it? Hyacinthia, beautiful. Mightimos, beautiful. Anaxagoras, beautiful. Like, some of these names could have been, like, stayed lengthened, you know?
Me? Well, it's not exactly an aspiration, but the only thing I want to do is to protect the people I care about.
Oh, fine.
I see. So you want to be a hero? How boring. Next.
He's just so dismissive.
I didn't say.
he really was dismissive of Fighter in his classes. Because, you know, I mean, Castris, she's so warm. She just loves, like, being here, you know?
Castoris, you've been giggling for quite some time. How about you go next?
Oh, Castris. I miss her so much already. I know it's only been, like, a few episodes, but I miss her.
Perhaps my answer is a bit vague and meaningless, Professor Anaxagoras, but I hope the world can be freed from the agony of death.
Whoa.
So that every living being may find calming peace.
So, like, trying to look at her face change, so determined. And this is something she's obviously wanted for a while. And Anaxagoras clearly knew this from here as well.
How naive. So naive that it makes me want to weep for your fairy tale.
Oh, he's just, I think this is his way of, like, making sure they never ask him to do something like this again.
See, this is why I don't want to follow those outdated protocols. All I get are boring answers. Since you suggested this whole process, why don't you wrap this up, Hyacinthia?
Such a beautiful name.
Share your aspiration with everyone, and let's see if yours stands out.
So it's finally my turn. Good thing I came prepared. My aspiration is nothing less than completing the final blank page at the end of the hero's epic.
You see the way she's scrunching her face a little bit? She's adorable.
Blank page? An interesting description. Do explain, assistant.
Oh, so Hyacinthia is actually, like, piqued Anaxagoras' interest.
I've read all of Amphoreus' heroic epics while studying at the Grove, and a common thread came to my attention.
Yeah?
Almost every epic ends with a description of the hero's achievements. But few mention how the everyday people of that time lived. No one recorded the struggles and suffering the commoners endured.
Oh, wow.
So you're saying that, instead of legendary heroes, you're more focused on commoners living on the peripheries of historical records.
That's actually a very interesting perspective, right?
Perhaps I'm influenced by my background. My ancestor, Seliose the Day Thunder Knight,
Day Thunder.
raised her spear against the sky and ushered in the flame-chasing era that continues to this day.
What a name. The Day Thunder Knight. Sounds so sick. That sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And they say they ushered in the Flame Chase era? So, like, they started it or kind of like presented it?
Her story is told to every child descended from the Skyfolk. We have no doubts about Seliose's greatness, yet her towering figure overshadowed every record from that entire era. What about the Day Thunder Knight's family, allies, and friends? What about the survivors and those who died in the great battles? Whenever I think about their stories by the campfire, I realize the details of those legends have been long lost. And only Seliose's name remains.
I adore this. I adore this so freaking much. Like, this perspective is probably why Hyacine's also, like, just an absolutely fantastic healer, in my opinion, because she cares so much about people on every level, you know? And I feel like, you know, if you look at, like, Mightimos' story, right, like, it's so true. Like, there's heroes, and there's also the people that helped them along the way. That's always been the case, no matter which hero you are, you know? Like, the people who say they got it somewhere without anybody's help, you know, are rare and few and far between, and sometimes lying.
Her brilliance had become as blinding as Aquila's, lording over everything on the ground.
So it's like at the same level of Aquila?
That's why I'm glad that my era does not lack heroes.
So sick. So sick.
All my ancestors had was a sad past. But I have a future I want to protect. Instead of becoming a hero and ushering in a golden deluge to baptize the world anew, I want to stay in the backline and save all the ordinary humans from drowning in the rising waves.
Hi, Cynthia. So I wonder if like this is both the idea of like making sure that the commoners quote unquote stories are known, but also it's why she is again like, such a good healer. She's gonna stay in the back and reduce the casualties of everything that's going to happen. Because again, what's gonna happen is when it comes to any of these battles, wars, fights, flame chase journeys, whatever you want to call it, like usually it is like a lot of like bystanders that get caught in the process. It's one of the reasons why I respected Aglaia so much as well, is because her whole thing was like, we gotta reduce like the amount of times that like even people know about this, you know what I mean? Until it was too late and you had to let people know about it, you know?
I wish not to return to the sky, but to walk among the masses on Earth. I believe it's the only way for the saga of creation.
And if you notice that Anaxagoras has not told her to be quiet, that's how you know. That's how you know that he like is not bored by what she's saying.
To include a footnote for the everyday people in its blank page.
I love this gal, man. I love this gal. The fact that story didn't end with Anaxagoras going silly means that he heard that and was like, yo. And in a way, Anaxagoras, like, I bet would respect that, because while he isn't like someone who's like, I love common people, he more just like wants people to think freely. He has this like feeling where humans are the real kind of like driving force on this planet if they wanted to be, not the gods. You know, it doesn't always have to be gods. We ourselves are gods, you know? So I think in a way when he hears like Hyacine being like, you know, oh, I really like want to like make sure that the common folk are the ones that are kind of like remembered. I want to save them on the back lines. I generally feel like that's like something Anaxagoras would be like, that's actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because again, he probably laughs at people being like, I'm going to be this massive hero. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop death. Even though he like laughs at a one mouth, I think there is like a lot of like, you know, trust in Finer and casters as well. I think there would be like an instant like thing of like, yeah, man. Well done, Hyacine. Awesome.
I'm getting embarrassed from remembering how I said all that.
Hyacine, like, it's one of the best things you could have said. Like, it's so respectful. So respectful and so beautiful.
But my beliefs have never changed. Now I really have a chance to stay behind the hero's front line and realize my dream.
Huh? Oh, Hyacine.
Dan Heng.
Danny, what are you doing here?
Every time she says Danny, this is gonna be a great interaction.
I didn't expect to see you again in the Grove. Finan mentioned you were gearing up for the campaign against Aquila.
The funny thing is, like, I actually like that they're... Sorry. I actually do think that it's really cool that they're making, like, a little, like, bromance between Dan Heng and Hyacine. I think it's a really cool, like, consistent thing they're doing, you know?
You guessed it. To reach Aquila's realm in the sky, descendants of the Sky People must perform a bloodline ceremony, summon the spirits of our ancestors, and get their blessings.
So that's something that she's gonna have to do?
That's the only way for creatures on Earth to forge the Rainbow Bridge to the sky.
Rainbow Bridge?
And the soul of the first ancestor I want to see is here in the Grove.
That is so there's like gonna be a rainbow bridge that's gonna be forged to get to the sky. So she's gonna be a big part of this campaign, I'm guessing.
The Rainbow Bridge is essential to retrieve the core flame of Aquila, but undertaking such a vital ceremony alone is far too risky.
Don't worry. I have little Ika with me.
Oh, little Ika.
You'll protect me, won't you?
Do.
Good, Ika. Well, what brings you here, Danny?
Because I think like the reason I like this consistency between... Because Dan Heng has made friends here. I want to make that clear. People love him here. People respect him. And people think he's really smart and all this stuff. The reason why I really like the pairing that's now become a... It's become a... it's not a pattern yet, but it's become like a second thing, right? Which is Hyacine and Dan Heng. Is because it shows that like Dan Heng is also like making like closer friends. And he's also like, you know, acquaintances with people while Stella's going off doing big journeys too, you know?
I'm collecting as many myths and research about the Titans as I can. Everything about Amphoreus is a valuable addition to our databank.
Oh,
when I
yeah.
get back to the Astral Express.
Of course Dan Heng would love this.
Right. If all goes as planned, you and Gray will be able to go home after this mission. Won't you?
It's gonna be weird, I feel like. I feel like we've already spent longer here than we have in any other quest, right? I think so anyway, I think so. At this stage.
Yes. Assuming we can actually break the curse about worlds beyond the sky. I have a feeling it's not going to be smooth sailing.
Not at all. There's no way. Like the way they built up Aquila, this is good. This is gonna be Resistance City.
Oh? Could it be that you too have some kind of hidden powers to make prophecies now?
That's not it. But I'm starting to question how real everything is after a conversation with a member of the Council of Elders.
Starting to question how real everything is?
Nope. I didn't understand that either, little Ika.
Don't worry about it. There's a lot that I still don't understand.
So maybe I'm misremembering, but the idea of like something not being real after talking to the Council of Elders, is it that there is like a doubt about some stuff maybe on this journey? Maybe it's something you said before that I'm just like, it slipped my mind, but...
Since we've already met up, why don't you come with us then?
Yes! The crew's back in action.
I was thinking the same thing. The grove is fraught with danger right now, and an extra pair of hands translates to extra security.
Oh yeah.
That's the dependable express guard for you. So, shall we get going?
This is genuinely such a cool idea. It really is. Dan Heng and Hyacine working together. Yeah, like to me, like whenever Dan Heng says something, I listen. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where like I feel like, and I know there's like a lot of characters like that when they say something. Like if Wealth says something or Himiko says something, you're listening, right? And you could say, well, Calvin, you listen to March 7th as well, 100%. Like because that's, you know, I love her to pieces as well, you know. But I feel like it's all like different levels, right? I listen to Wealth when he speaks because like, you know, he's going to impart wisdom that is going to be very important. The same with Himiko, she's going to say something that's going to be very important. I listen to March because he's also so like emotionally intelligent and has such a really gigantic awareness of how people are feeling at all times. And it's one of those things that like whenever like she expresses like anything like how she's disgusted by something or she's upset by something, I always feel like it speaks to me quite a bit. I'm always like, yeah, March, 100%. And with Dan Heng, it's like Dan Heng is someone who can express himself and cares a lot about people, but a lot of times will keep things bottled up sometimes. So if he's expressing something like I'm kind of like questioning the reality of some things here, like of course I'm gonna stand up and like, you know, perk up a bit and be like, okay, let's hear what Dan Heng has to say about this. But yeah, I love this this pairing. It's a really cool pairing.
The chroma coffer is vibrating. There must be memories of an ancestor nearby.
Memories of an ancestor. Let's see.
What's this?
This is the divine object of the Sky People, the chroma coffer. Our ancestors dictated that when a descendant of the Sky Folk is ready to challenge Aquila again, they must first awaken the spirits of their ancestors with the chroma coffer and receive their benediction.
I love when like stories have their own like kind of like trinkets and doodads and stuff like that that like adds to their story, you know, because like it makes it feel like it is like more, I don't know, like its own world, you know what I mean? Like it's like this thing is this world's thing for this, and it works with this and it works with that in this world, you know?
Only after this can the chosen Skyfolk reascend to the heavens.
Are we getting into like a heavy Hyacinthia part of the story here? I have a feeling like this is gonna get like heavy Hyacinthia.
Is it to prevent those who are not qualified from pointlessly losing their lives?
Very prudent, wouldn't you say?
So it's like stop anyone who might not be fully qualified.
The soul of an ancestor slumbers here. Now, I will awaken them.
Right.
And that's the thing about that Hyacinthia is I feel like that's so cool about her is that she's very like she has this bubblegum appearance. She is, as I said, the SpongeBob of Amphoreus sometimes. But I think that like one thing that like you have to get straight with her as well is that she's also a character who has a I know she's fearless sometimes, you know, and she's very like even here you see she's like very like efficient even, you know. And I suppose like if you are like someone who is like healing people, you probably would be, but I feel like there's like that side of her too, 100%, along with being like just a sweetheart.
I am Hyacine from the Twilight Courtyard, a descendant of the sky who has inherited the duty of flame chase. The time has come to fulfill our plan's destiny. I will join the heroes of the prophecy to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame. Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing.
Listen carefully to wait. Oh, they're giving us a choice? Yeah, right, we should listen, right? Or are we saying that it's rude? I don't think it's rude. I think it's one of those situations where, like, I don't think Hyacine would have a problem with Dan Heng, especially Dan Heng, someone who she knows is, like, very, like, tactful and respectful listening on this. I think he's, like, the one person that you wouldn't mind having listening on this stuff, you know?
Who has awakened me?
The goat.
It's Hyacine, a descendant of the Sky People. I apologize for interrupting your slumber. You are Lord Crispus, aren't you? I've read your story in our family tree. You are a righteous judge who vindicated many who were wrongfully accused.
I never imagined someone in this era would still remember my name.
He's very pleased by this as well. This sounds really good, because sometimes, like, with Honkai Star Rail, for some reason in my game, I know people said, like, turn off spatial audio. I can't see that setting in the menu, but sometimes the audio, when they do, like, ghosts or apparitions, is never very good. This sounds great.
So, our bloodline and duty have continued to this distant age.
That must feel good, right? That must feel really good.
Indeed, it has. I have awakened you in the hope of receiving your blessing.
Like, imagine, like, that must, like, especially if you're from, like, a time like this where, like, so much, like, there's so much importance in, like, I know it's, like, based on Greek culture, but, like, so much importance, like, was based on, like, the idea of carrying on a name and a name having power, right? I think it's a really cool thing to hear, right, after you've gone.
For the flame chase journey is nearing its perfect conclusion. And retrieving the core flame of Aquila is the final challenge the heroes will face.
There's only one core flame left? This is insane.
Perfect conclusion. Hyacine, you look very young, and you do not have the bearings of a warrior who can contend with a titan.
Listen, Krispy Kreme, this is the goat.
How can you convince me that this blessing will not turn into a curse, leading a child like you to your demise?
Sorry for changing your name to Krispy Kreme, because he's actually doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to literally make sure that someone doesn't die on this journey, right? That's what they're supposed to do. Like, me defending Hyacine so much that I'm like, hey buddy, shut your mouth. Even though, like, he's literally doing what he's supposed to do.
1,000 years ago, Seliose, who conquered the skies, left behind legends and a will, entrusting the mission to return the Sky Titan's core flame to her descendants, to people like you and me.
This is what I'm talking about. Hyacine is so sweet, but, like, look how official she is. You know, look how efficient she is. Look how, like, in touch with this stuff she is.
Though I'm not a warrior, I will not turn away from the mission that has flowed through our blood for 1,000 years.
I'm so freaking worried now, man. I'm so freaking worried. My heart just dropped when I heard her say this for some reason. Like, this Amphoreus has really, like, destroyed me so much that, like, whenever a character goes, I will perform my duty, I think, you're gone. You're dead. Like, it's actually painful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what Amphoreus has done for me. Whenever I hear any character be like, we gotta do this, and I'm like, how about stay put? How about sit down? How about relax?
And I am not fighting alone. I have the strongest and most tenacious companions in the world.
Ellie, I love when she scrunches her face like this.
Amphoreus is in an era brimming with heroes. The burden of retrieving Akula's core flame no longer rests solely on the shoulders of the chosen skyfolk.
Yes. I love this guy's voice actor. Really fantastic stuff.
I now wield the power of healing. I aim to mend the fissures in the sky and heal the wounds of the people.
I now wield the power of healing. Okay, yeah.
I desire to define the mission of the Skyfolk in my own terms, to conclude the vigil that has spanned millennia.
So, like... So I think is she trying to express here that she's like, hey, like, this is not going to be the same type of thing that happened before. Like, I have so many people with me. I now have healing powers. Like, do not worry as much as you would usually. It's not going to be the same as usual.
I sense resilience in your words. Not an outward resilience, but something deeper within.
I think she has, like, I think she's very courageous, in my view.
Receive my blessings,
oh, wow.
young Hyacinthia. May you gain wings to return to the sky via the bridge of rainbows.
So sick. This is really, really sick to see
Thank
this.
you for your trust, Lord Crispus. We won't let you down.
Yeah. He almost got my bad books for no reason. Sorry, Lord Crispus.
Well done, Hyacine.
It's all Dan Heng, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. She freaking killed it. She killed it. And it was so awesome to see her do that. Like, she, like, and this is what I'm talking about again, like, she has the energy of a SpongeBob when you meet her, and then, like, all of a sudden, like, I don't know, she comes out with this, like, again, this fearless attitude sometimes, this courageous attitude, this efficiency, this, like, dedication. She's, like, just great. She's just so great.
Thank you.
You did so good. Holy hell.
My ancestors were all pretty strong-willed people. It won't be easy convincing them. I've run through these upcoming conversations in my head more times than I can count.
Well, looks like your efforts paid off.
Yeah. So she's obviously rehearsing, which I think is also very smart, right? To rehearse those things over and over again, especially since you know you're going to have to do them over and over again.
Now, the next ancestor on the list. Her spirit is said to rest in the vortex of Genesis. A pity that the ceremony has to be performed in strict order. Shall we head back to Akuma together, Danny?
This is awesome.
The vortex of Genesis, huh? I have a suggestion.
Yeah? Oh my god. This look, I'm sorry. They are like perfect, like, best friends. Look at the way their hands are posed. Do you know what the problem is? They're both so, like, thought-provoking, and they love thinking, and they love, like, information, and they love, like, it's like they, if they were in a fair world, they would just be like study buddies. You know what I mean? They would, like, literally be like studying for the exams and, like, putting notes together. They would be spending days at the library just, like, finding new information out. You know what I mean? It just, in a fair world.
Remember how you suggested I learn the secret arts of water from Fagusa's priests?
Oh my god. She's like, even like, hey, you should check this out. Give them suggestions, you know? This is like the two friends are like, hey, you should totally try, like, this outfit.
I've been practicing that in my spare
Whoa.
time and made some progress. Now, as long as I have spirit water with me,
What?
I can use those techniques to carve a path directly to the vortex of Genesis.
Donnie? Dan Heng? What?
Oh, I remember. I didn't expect you to keep at it this long. That's so like you, Danny.
Oh my god, they're best buds. This is so cute.
Compared to the currents of my home, the waters of Amphoreus are rather untamed. Subduing the waters wasn't easy, but I've gotten the hang of it now.
That's so fun. Dan Heng is, like, able to, like do some crazy stuff now. I mean, let's just be honest, he has, like, the power of Imbiber Lune, like, with him, right? 110%. So, like, it's cool that he's able to, like, resonate with that. When water makes sense for him, he is, he's basically like a walking water elemental sometimes. But, like, still, like, to show this dedication and learn the stuff here in Amphoreus like this and the stuff of Fagusa, like, it's so cool.
That makes sense. Fagusa was always described as a fickle titan in the myths. Since you're offering, Then let me put your skills
This
to the
is
test,
so
Danny.
cool. This is so cool.
The spirit water gate formed with this technique isn't as stable as a ritual basin. It'll likely only let one person through. And as Fagusa's priests designed it, the entrance serves as the exit. You'll need to come back through the vortex once you've met your ancestor spirit. Little Ika and I will be here waiting.
Oh my god, Ika's deadly.
Got it. I'm counting on you, Danny.
Under the raucous steps of their frenzied dance, the roar of celebration hides the world's heartbeat.
Is this what you have to say beforehand, I wonder?
Spirit water, reveal the way!
Dan Heng.
The vortex of Genesis. Unbelievable.
That's so cool.
Danny is full of surprises.
No, like, it's actually incredible. Him adapting to Amphoreus and learning about something like Amphoreus and learning how to do something like this, you know what I mean? More than impressed with him. I've a pride. I feel proud even hearing him do this. That's so cool.
This does feel way more disorienting than the ritual basin.
Sure. I bet it's crazy. I bet it's absolutely crazy. Dan Heng just warped someone to the frick. Oh!
Treeby here too. And who is that next to her?
Oh, you've never seen Cipher before? But like I was gonna say, like the Dan Heng literally warped someone to the frickin', you know, vortex of Genesis.
Oh, I think I know who that is.
Yeah.
Do you have to go already, Siphy?
Siphy.
It's been ages since you were last in Akama. You could have taken some time to rest, and we could have caught up.
You know, if Treeby sees you as a good egg, you're good.
That's alright, big sister Treeby. I've gotten used to life on the road. Staying in this bustling city actually feels off.
Oh, okay. So Psyche is just doesn't feel quite right.
Besides, your prize student gave me an incredibly tough mission to handle.
Cut Snowy some slack, Siphy.
Yeah, you did give her a big task.
He's still so young, yet he's shouldering all the responsibilities Aggie left behind.
It's so true, and he did it right away. He stepped up to the plate right away. But he also did give Cipher a big task. You know, Cipher has a big task ahead of her, and she's doing it not with like a lot of companions on at her side, you know. But again, that's her whole thing, is being secretive, kind of like, you know, distraction, fooling people.
Besides, Snowy's not the kind to ask for help lightly. Since he came to you, it means you're the best person for the job.
Hell yes, and please remember this, Cipher. Please remember this. Like, because that's what Aggie was trying to say too. You're the only one who could do this.
You really spoil him, big sis baby.
Guess I'm past the age for someone to look after me.
Oh, that's great.
Siphy.
No, I honestly though, obviously Treeby like wants to look after Dan Heng. Like this to me reminds me, it's like Dan Heng. It's like Aggie was like a mother, and Treeby's like the auntie now looking after Dan Heng. Not Dan Heng, sorry, Finon. Dan Heng in the brain always. But like yeah, like I just think it's so endearing that Treeby, you know, is caring for Cipher in her own way and caring for Finon in her own way as well. I think she has a really good knowledge of these characters, you know? I think she does. The way she describes Finon there as someone who doesn't ask for help all the time, the way she like made sure to let that Cipher knew you are not only wanted, like it's only you that can do this. You know what I mean? I know she didn't say it exactly, but that's kind of like the line of talk that they've had about Cipher for a while. I think she just knows them really well.
Just kidding. I get it. That deliverer boy does have a certain charisma about him.
Yep.
It reminds me of Aglaia in her prime.
I agree. And I think that Finon's charisma is not just like outward, you know, like traditional charisma. I think his charisma does come from his charming softness mixed with his genuine wearing of his heart in his sleeve. Like it all comes from that, where like he's so believable, and because he is what he's saying the truth, and he's so honest and open that when he says something, you can't help but like sit there with doughy eyes and listen to everything he says.
Anyway, I'm about to head out. Oh, Big Sis Treeby, before I go, got a little gift for you.
Well, that's so pretty.
Well, didn't expect you to be so thoughtful. What's in it?
That's a part of the game too. If you want to see the full picture of what's inside, you'll have to wait until nightfall.
Oh, so that's like, okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
A gift with a mysterious twist? Seriously?
Huh? Looks like we have company.
Oh, she noticed Hyacinthia. Cynthia.
Lady Treeby, and this graceful lady must be Miss Cipher. I'm Hyacine from the Twilight Courtyard. Everyone calls me Hyacine. Pleased to meet you.
What an interesting interaction between these two, right?
Bright and cheery as a lamp.
Cipher always has some comment, right?
Well, hello there, pink child. I'm Cipher from the long-fallen city-state of Dolos. As for the rest, it's all in the history books, so I don't need to repeat it here.
Man, we talk about it all the time. The voice actor for Cipher has like injected herself with charisma before she even went into the booth.
So, you're from the Twilight Courtyard. Does that mean?
Yes, I'm a descendant of the Sky People, the Chrysos heir about to take over the authority of Sky.
So Hyacinthe is going to take the core flame of Aquila. Man, and again, I know it's normal to feel this way, but after every horror that's happened so far, and all the terrible stuff that's happened so far, and all the tears and stuff like this as well, like I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's hard not to feel like, like every character's just gonna have like it's so strange. Like no other game would have whenever a character goes, I'm about to fulfill my duty, and I'm like, no, don't, just stay at home.
Whoa! That's unexpected. I figured Seliose's descendant would be...
Oh my god.
Taller, stronger.
I mean, that's what people are going to doubt Hyacinthe like that, but this is a perfect voice acting read again.
Whoa!
The well, that's like such a great way to do like an awkward response while also trying to like not trip over your words, trying to be like not mean, but at the same time to express yourself,
Don't judge a book by its cover, Cyphy. Cindy is a master of her craft. She's the most skilled and dependable physician in all of Amphoreus.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Lady Cipher. I may not be as strong and warlike as Lady Seliose from 1,000 years ago, but I'm confident I can carry out the mission of the Skyfolk.
Her way she speaks, she's so like, again, I said efficient, but she's so well spoken. She really is. And I wonder if that comes from like being a teacher's assistant to Anaxagoras. I wonder if because I feel like she takes a lot of like even her speech patterns, and obviously not in a very like Anaxagoras is intentionally more like abrasive, but I do think she has like a lot of the she like mixes her own gentleness with a lot of Anaxagoras' straightforwardness in her speech, and like it comes across really well.
All this talk about missions, you're making it sound way too serious.
It is serious.
You've got to look out for yourself, girl. Don't push yourself too hard. I'd hate to see that cute face all scratched out by Aquila's claws.
Same thing she said, not the same exact thing, but what she said to Castris was, you gotta look out for yourself, because again, the fearful thing inside of Cyphera is what? I don't want to be on the flame chase journey, because if I do, then the prophecy will be fulfilled and I will die. Was it with nothing? Like something along those lines, you walk with, I forget the actual expression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that friend who's always trying to convince you not to go to the party because they're not going to the party. You know what I mean? Dude, that party's gonna suck, Don't go. It's like, I kind of want to go. No, dude, that party's gonna suck. It's like, are you going? No, I can't go, Like, it really feels like that, in a way. But, like, way more emotional because obviously, like, Cypher's such, like, an outgoing character. So it's so interesting to have her be, like, so fearful of that. Admittedly, I think, as well.
Cyphy cracking jokes. Looks like like you haven't forgotten what Aggie said all those years ago.
What did she say?
Anyway, I've got a mission to handle, so I'll get going.
She's getting out of there as soon as someone... She's the type of person, as soon as someone calls her cute, she's like, I'm out of here.
Good luck, Miss Hyacine.
Oh, the pose.
And if things get tough, just let that deliverer take the lead.
Cipher used the Coin of Whimsy ability to teleport away from the vortex.
Miss Cipher is in such a hurry.
Don't worry, she's always been like that. It's good to have her back in Akama lending a hand.
It's really awesome. It's really awesome. And I'm sorry for saying this again, but it really does feel like, you know, when a family member dies and all the family comes back to like the one place, and it's like, I'm really glad to have Uncle Mark back in town. He's been helping a lot. It does kind of feel that way, you know, now that Aggie's gone, it does kind of feel a bit like, it's nice to have everyone feel like, it felt like everyone was broken in her death, and now everyone's united after her death as well, you know?
Well, enough about her for now. You're here because of your mission, aren't you, Cinny?
Cinny is beautiful.
It's the perfect opportunity for me to go and tuck Cypher's gift away somewhere safe. The Vortex of Genesis is all yours.
So cool. Great interaction there with Cipher and Hyacynthia. Can I say, yeah, Hyacinthia's character, like, she's just so well spoken that, like, I genuinely feel like you could send her to, like, you know, the United Nations and she'd win. You know, just she's you know what I mean? Not because she's like forceful or like very mean or like she's really good at being aggressive, but like it feels like she has like an answer for everything. Not because she's like the ultra most smartest person in the world, but because I feel like she answers with like, again, such like sincerity. You know what I mean? And such like sincerity mixed with efficiency. You know, she really is Anaxagoras' teacher's assistant.
I will join the heroes of the prophecy to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame. Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing.
Speak with the ancestor. Skip this narrate. What? I guess they're giving options, I guess, for people to skip narrations.
Child, what brings you before me? Could it be you're a descendant of the Sky People?
Yes, I am Hyacynthia of the Twilight Courtyard, the successor of the Sky People's Flame Chase duty. You must be Gem Electra. Legend has it that during the Chrysos War, you led our people to ally with Akama and held back the Kremnoan forces.
Whoa.
It was your victory that earned the Sky People a place in the Holy City.
Especially against Kremnoa, right?
Hyacynthia, you seem well versed in our clan's history. And this is the Vortex of Genesis?
It is. Look, 10 stars have already been lit. The Chrysos Heir's flame-chase journey is nearing its end.
Are those the core flames of Fagusa and Giorios? Does that mean Hycelans and the Mountain Dwellers successfully carried out their duty?
This is cool. This is really cool. Like having someone in the past being like, wait, Hyacin, did they mention that name before, Hylas? Or is that something else? I remember they were mentioning a name last time over and over again. Maybe that's the name they're mentioning. But like, I love that someone from the past being like, oh, they actually did it?
Who would have thought,
That's
as
so
a
sick.
fellow pillar of Amphoreus, the sky's duty could only be fulfilled after 1,000 years?
And you can hear the genuine surprise in their voice as well.
It's because sky shelters all beneath it. If it were to shatter, the world would fall apart with it. That's why Lady Aglaya made the core flame of Aquila the final step in our campaign.
Aglaya? Is she still on the flame chase journey after 1,000 years?
Again, I love the idea of this person from the past being like, you know, oh, like this happened and that happened, but like now we have to hear this.
Unfortunately, she has recently left us.
Yeah.
But you're right. She was indeed still guiding the Chrysos heirs forward.
Till recently.
Incredible. That girl actually managed to endure the merciless erosion of time.
Even these people from the
and
past are saying this,
lasted
yes.
for so long.
She did so well.
Answer me, Hyacynthia. Since you recognize me, You must have also read my writings, no?
Every record regarding my lineage is etched in my memory.
Jesus Christ.
Including your words.
Dan Heng literally found a walking databank for a friend.
In that case, you're probably aware of the prophecy I sought from a certain Trebios.
Yeah?
Yes. At the end of the Rainbow Bridge, the Sky Folk will mend dusk and dawn.
Oh, is that like bringing back a day-night cycle?
But unfortunately, no ancestor has ever been able to truly decipher its meaning.
To me, it sounds like if you're mending dusk and dawn, that means you're trying to like bring back dusk and dawn, like which is not a thing in Akama, right?
I see. Yet Trebios' prophecies never fail.
Yep.
Perhaps you'll be the one to witness its fulfillment, child. May the prophecy lead you to a gentle fate.
Thank you, Lady Ektra. Whatever fate the prophecy holds, I'll face it head on. It's only by giving everything we have that we can truly accept any outcome with a smile.
Love that expression.
Won't you agree?
I like you, child. I wish this conversation could go on a little longer. Take my blessing, Hyacinthia.
Sick.
When I first saw you, I indeed had my doubts. But your resolve has touched me. If Sky's divinity is fated to pass on, I hope it incorporates your optimism and kindness.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. You can tell Ektra like really was impressed by Hyacinthia. Really.
Your blessing is a treasure beyond measure, General. Rest well. I'll make sure your gift is put to its best use.
That's what I'm talking about. She's literally like the sun to Anaxagoras' moon. Like not in like a, you know, that kind of way. Like where we say you are my sun, you are my moon. But I mean like kind of like they're both so like really efficient with the words. But Hyacinthia uses it for like actually being very pleasant to people, while Anaxagoras does it to just get to the point. You know, it's like it's so interesting.
General Ektra is so different from how the records described her. She's quite a gentle person. All right, time to head back to the grove. I shouldn't keep Danny and little Ika waiting.
That was so great. Like you could tell that she 100% like was impressed with Hyacinthia, you know?
Huh. You're back. How did it go?
That voice line from okay, listen.
Huh. You're back. How did it go?
That's worried that his power worked, right? 110%. Also, you could say like, well, we've been losing people left, right, and center. That like, you know, imagine losing Hyacinthia in the moment that you use your power. That would be terrifying. But I think like, you know, a simple voice line can like really express so much to me, and this expresses
You're back.
Worry,
How
right?
did it go?
Extreme worry.
It went great. Your spirit water art was a huge help, Danny.
Do you mind sharing what your ancestor spirit said to you?
Hyacine recounts a conversation with General Extra to Dan Heng.
What's wrong, Danny?
Nothing. It sounds like everything went smoothly.
Dan Heng has something here.
It's just... I'm a bit concerned about the prophecy you mentioned.
Right.
At the end of the Rainbow Bridge, the Sky Folk will mend dusk and dawn.
To me, it sounds like mending the idea of dusk and dawn is mending the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun. Right? That's what it sounds like to me. Don't confirm anything or deny anything.
I can somehow sense a hint of sadness in those brief words.
You think so?
You've always been a bit of a sensitive soul, haven't you, Danny?
Aww.
Lady Trina deciphers countless prophecies every day, and this one's just another among many. Don't worry too much about it.
Legitimately, though, I really feel like she knows that Dan Heng so well already. He is a sensitive soul. It's just that he didn't always have the means to express it, you know?
I hope so.
And he won't deny it either.
Come on, Danny. Don't look so gloomy. We're gonna have to take a long trip for the final visit to the ancestors.
Where are we going?
Our final stop is Lord Mighty's home.
Whoa.
Castrum Kremnos.
That's huge.
We're here.
Oh my god. The transition of going to Castrum Kremnos is hilarious to me for some reason. Let's go. Transition. Whoa, what a trip. Yeah, I heard being like, hey, like, you know, don't be so gloomy. Like, you can tell that, like, they've already, like, you know, gotten to know each other very well, and that's very sweet. Like, in an alternate universe, you could pretend that Dan Heng was just like, I'm on board here in Amphoreus. I gotta find, like, at least one pink-haired friend. You know? The pink-haired ones are always hilarious.
Castrum Kremnos.
Lord Mighty has been fighting the Black Tide here, alone day after day.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him.
How could not be? He's such, like, he's been dying over and over again as well.
He sent a message earlier carried by thunder, warning us to watch out for the Flame Reaver's actions.
So terrifying.
That means he hasn't been consumed by the Black Tide's madness yet. We're here to complete an important mission. We shouldn't interfere with this battlefield.
This music.
Don't you agree, Danny?
I agree.
Yep.
There. That sleeping spirit is my grandmother.
All right.
Your grandmother?
Yes, my grandmother Jacintha was a warrior. She represented the Twilight Courtyard in the Kremnos Festival. She fought her way through every challenge and reached the final stage of the Kremnos Festival. She was just one step away from securing a peace treaty for the Skyfolk, but was ultimately defeated by the champion warrior of that time.
A lot of people got to that point and then they failed, don't they?
I've never looked too deeply into the details of such ritualistic violence. The scrolls simply described it as a glorious duel.
But you still looked into, like, you know, the scrolls at least, you know?
But behind the glorious duel was a tragic end. Not long after the festival, my grandmother's injuries worsened, and she passed away far from home.
Ah.
This prophecy tablet was left here by the Kremnoans to honor her final wish. Her death marked the final collapse of the Twilight Courtyard, already fragile under the shadow of war.
So she was kind of like the last nail in the coffin when she left.
And the Kremnoan warrior she fought against?
Was Lord Kratos.
Whoa, what a connection, right? Especially when Lord Kratos is still walking around here.
Yet, you still saved his life, even though he took your family.
Hippocratic Oath.
Seeing him lying there, gravely wounded, bleeding out, I can't put what I felt at that moment into words. But when I heard Lord Kratos took that fatal blow to protect Lady Trianne, all those tangled feelings faded away.
So this is interesting to me because then she's saying that, like, when she saw him lying there, bleeding out, she probably was a little bit... And by the way, I make this good. This doesn't make you a bad person. This doesn't make you bad if this is what she's saying, because this is what I think she's saying. Like, it's like, oh, this kind of felt kind of good. It felt like a bit of revenge for what happened to my grandmother. But, like, and again, I want to make because I think that one of the things that happens sometimes all the time now is where people will, like, hear stuff like this, and especially online, it's all the time. Like, nowadays, if you say that you're jealous of, like, your boyfriend's friend online, people rip you apart in the quote tweets, you know what I mean? Because you're not allowed to feel natural things anymore. This is like such a natural feeling to have some towards someone that has hurt your family, to be like, you see him bleeding out and you're like, maybe I shouldn't heal him. You know what I mean? That's so natural. It just makes Cynthia more interesting and more human. But then also what makes her so amazing is then when she heard about what happened with Trianne, she said, no, I got to do something. Like, this just makes her all the more interesting.
To quote Lord Finan, Kratos must have done that to become a better man.
What, to protect Trianne? I do think that him protecting, or trying to protect Trianne was his best version of an apology to Midamos, in my opinion. I know and I want to make this clear, especially with like people from like older eras. Like, I talked about this all the time. They refuse to apologize for some reason, but he should just directly apologize for putting all the pressure on Midamos. But I think that was like an old man's way of being like, I gotta do something good. You know what I mean? I spend years doing all this other stuff, and I just have to do something good.
It takes true courage to forgive. You're every bit as strong as your ancestors, Hyacine.
She is incredible. She's incredible.
You're getting better at this, Danny.
Better at this?
In her final diary entry, my grandmother wrote that when the moment of destiny comes, a descendant of the Sky People would deliver the message of their departure to her spirit. I wonder what she'd think when the one awaking her turns out to be her beloved granddaughter.
Whoa.
I will join the heroes of the prophecy
There we go again.
to return to the sky and retrieve the core flame.
Yeah, that was an amazing retelling of that as well there. I'm so impressed with the writing for Hyacinthia. So impressed.
Ancestor, please bestow upon me your generous blessing.
Listen carefully. Yeah, of course, 100%. So, does this mean we skip it? Does this actually mean we skip it?
Is this the world of the living? Wait. You. Could you be?
Her voice.
Grandmother, it's me. You're Hyacynthia.
Hyacynthia. My little hummingbird.
Hummingbird.
Why? How? Why is it you who awakened me? I have never imagined this. I thought I would feel happy for all my ancestors when this day came, but now I can't even experience the joy of seeing you again.
That's so interesting, right? That she's like, you know, she can't even express joy because she's probably worried about why she's here, right?
Do you remember that you and Father took me to my very first sky rite when I was 8? Back then, you wanted me to pick one accessory out of 4. The sun crown representing nobility, the storm bracelet symbolizing strength, the ice ring embodying wisdom, and the radiant pendant signifying kindness.
She's such a good memory as well. And look how she quickly jumps into this, like it's almost like in a way to like calm her grandmother, right, who seemed very worried. Like, this is why I think she like literally is like so good with words.
Grandmother, do you remember the one I chose?
You spoke an innocent little prayer, infusing a faint thread of light to that modest pendant.
Yes, and I remember how surprised you were. In all those centuries, no other child of the Sky People had ever made the same choice I did.
Hyacynthia, there was a time when I thought you were a timid child. You never had much interest in swords or battle and had no relation to that fiery determination and strength in our blood.
But you still clearly loved her. And I think that's very nice though, by the way, that they still loved her.
Yet I've told myself, that's not a bad thing. If my hummingbird could live her life in kindness and optimism, then it'd be a good thing.
That's so sweet. She was the one in the family that they were like, she's so soft, like, we love her, you know, she's nothing like us. I think it's like a very sweet thing.
I never thought the burden of retrieving the core flame of Aquila would fall to you.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like a mafia. I know it's a different thing. You know, like a mafia family story in like a movie where like they know the one like son is like soft enough, and they're like, we can't let him get into this. You know what I mean? They're probably looking at Hyacin and being like, we can't let her do this. You know, that's very sweet.
Don't worry about me, Grandmother. I believe what makes someone a Skyfolk isn't just outstanding strength, but the capacity to shape the world.
She's definitely thought about this for a while.
When the world cried out for a hero to challenge the gods 1,000 years ago, Seliose stepped forward and began the flame-chasing era. And now, as the flame chase journey nears its end, this broken world is crying out for something else. Healing.
she has, and I think that, you know, you could say it's because she has been thinking about this for a while, but she has such a beautiful answer for everything. Like, it's like, I would like she'd be like, yeah, sure, you know, like I believe you, and I think that's what she was talking about. It's not about violence, it's not about strength. It's about the healing that she wants to bring to this world, to the common people, to everyone.
Isn't it poetic? A saga that spans 1,000 years, began with Sky, and will also end with Sky.
This is who you want in your final hours by your bedside. I believe she would make death and like all this stuff out. Like, she's like, hey, it's not that scary, and she starts doing a big spiel, and it's like, it sounds beautiful, like it actually makes sense, and you're like, yeah, okay, you know, like that. She's putting my mind at ease right now, and I was nervous at the start of this.
You're still as optimistic as ever, just like when you were a kid. If your mind is set, Hyacinthia, then carry your resolve through to the very end.
So fun. So fun.
Return to the sky with my blessing, and watch over this world on the threshold of salvation.
Grandmother, thank you. But I have one last request.
I wonder what that is.
Speak, Hyacinthia. We should still have some time.
Oh my god. Now we know how Cynthia like grew up the way she did, you know? She seems like the type of character that does have like so much, grew up with so much love. And I don't mean that, you know, you have to grow up with love to be a lovely person, because there's people I know who went through horrific things, but you know, like, you can always tell when someone, like, you know, wasn't spoiled, but they grew up with like love. You know what I mean? You can always tell in their face almost, like, you know what I mean? It's like that person grew up with love, you know? Like it was healthy. It was so healthy.
Before you go, could you tell me the tale of the Sky Hero once more? Just like you used to.
So there's also that personal aspect for Hyacinthia, of course. That's so sweet. That's beautiful.
Then listen closely, my dearest hummingbird. After all, this will be the last time.
Man, so if we get to hear the story now, I just want to say this before, when I say someone like grows up with love, and I want to just like make sure like I express myself fully here with Hyacinthia, the reason I can see this in her is that like she has such a softness to her, and you can see in her eyes are bright, her face is always like it looks like the type of person that like was, you know, again, given so much room to grow and love for being themselves. And they ended up being like, you know, a person that then imparts that to other people as well. And I want to make it clear, like, it's not, when I say someone grew up with love, it doesn't mean that, like, I'm saying, like, hey, like, you know, because Minamos didn't grow up with love and, like, people that loved him that way, he turned out to be awful. No, Minamos also turned out to be amazing, but, like, in a different way. But I think you can tell, like, it's like a different sparkle, you know, you see there sometimes.
For millennia,
oh, wow.
The Titans waged relentless wars, leaving the world scarred and ravaged. A century of the Chrysos War plunged the nations into chaos and decay. Until a spear, fueled by mortal rage, pierced through the smoke and flames that buried the prophecy of deliverance.
Great storytelling voice.
Aquila,
so
the
cool.
celestial shaper. The 100-eyed divine bird crowned with the blazing sun and wielding thunder.
Look at these things. Look at that. Is that Aquila? That is insane. So cool looking.
Those struck blind in 99 eyes by Nicador, they kept one eye glaring at the children of Twilight who received divine blessing, yet turned their weapons against the gods.
Can I read this again just to be sure? So it's Aquila, the celestial shaper, the 100-eyed divine bird crowned with the blazing sun. So is Aquila the big divine beast then with the eyes? I thought the one on the ground was Aquila. So Aquila's the big beast up there? Jesus.
The Chrysos heir of the sky, Seliose, the Day Thunder Knight, ascended the forbidden lands of the Eye of Twilight at dusk, clad in wings.
So is that's Seliose then? So Seliose looks sick.
To her left was the lion-headed Solus, the sunlit wings, whose roars breathed divine flames and scorched the world. To her right was the horse-bodied Lunibus, the moonlit plume, whose graceful steps trampled the stars in the heavens.
So cool. Even the illustrations are gorgeous here, and honestly, like I was kind of like hoping we get to see something about the Day Thunder Knight, and we're getting to see it now.
The one warrior and her two beasts challenged the ruler of the sky, determined to seize the divine core flame through plunder.
This could be its own story. You know what I mean? This could be literally its own story. And like, again, this artwork is sick on its own, but this could be its own story. How cool this is.
The Titan's every roar summoned lightning bolts, and their every movement stirred cyclones.
Jeez. Like this epic telling of this too?
The wounded Titan's blood poured down like boiling rain upon the world and converged into scalding torrents.
This is how you tell an epic. This is how you tell an epic.
In the final moments of battle, the sunlit wings set the Titan's wings aflame, while the moonlit plume sealed the divine body.
So, okay. And the moonlit plume is the horse, right? Yes.
The battered hero of the sky, with her wings broken and her body covered in wounds, struggled to lift her spear and pierced the last monstrous eye.
She's such a good storyteller. I was even imagining her like, you know, the armor clanking as she's trying to like move like one final time, you know?
The Titan's divine body crashed to the ground, and with it, the sky tore apart like fabric, about to fall with its god. The fear and pleas of mortals urged the hero of the sky to rise again. Seliose, the Day Thunder Knight, the first of the Chrysos heirs to slay a god in this world, charged into the crumbling body of Aquila with her two fearless winged companions.
And then what happened?
She merged with the Titan, holding up the sky once more, only to leave behind a powerful message for the world.
So did she become Aquila, or would you say that she took her core flame? Do you think that, like, because again, it depends on what people's perception would be, because they didn't know you could become a Titan beforehand, right?
My descendants will be blessed and cross the rainbow bridge back to the sky. At the end of the prophecy of Genesis, they will reclaim the core flame from my hands.
Such a sick. Whoa, we're going back to Stell. Such a cool, sick story. A really great way to tell it too. Oh, there's Finan up there.
Today's the day.
Wait, what?
Wow, I didn't expect it to be so lively up here.
Are they starting the campaign now?
Are these people here to send off the Chrysos
Oh my god, I didn't think it'd be so quick. That was such a cool story. It was so cool. My understanding of it is that, like, because we didn't know that you could become a Titan beforehand, right? So, did they just think that maybe they just thought that they became... That maybe it was just a fable or some kind in some ways? Or maybe they just took the core flame?
There's Finan. Let's go talk to him.
So sick. Yeah, I genuinely think that, like, Honkai Star Rail can do so much with just one image. You know what I mean? They can do so much with one image, and they did so much just by showing us that image of the story that was happening there. I also really love and have so much admiration for the Hyacine scenes there. I think that they were able to express her character in such a strong way in such a short amount of time. And Honkai Star Rail's been fantastic at doing that anyway. Like, we saw all the stuff there, just not only just like with the actual story of her family and her descendants and Aquila and her, you know, trying to prove that she's worthy to take on this core flame and things like that. But also we got to see her efficiency. her emotional intelligence, her connection with Dan Heng, the way she's so prepared for this, and she's been ready for this for a while. She's thought about this for a while. And to me, that shows a character who's not only just like, you know, someone who wants to heal the world in such a beautiful way on a human level, but also at the same time, too, she wants to, she's ready, I should say, for this. She has like a feeling. And again, I think there might be some fear in her at some point, but right now she's doing a fantastic job of having an answer for everything. She's so smart and so clever, and you can tell she's thought about this for a while. And that's the reason why probably Dan Heng and her get along even better, even though Dan Heng doesn't need you to like be a data bank to get along with you. But I do think it helps that they're both like really love information. You know what I mean? It's like they both have the same kind of love for situations like that as well. I think they expressed their character in such a strong way. Yeah, a character who is such a sweetheart, has such beautiful ambitions, while also like being so efficient and well spoken, and still having such like a hold on what she holds dear, which is companionship, healing, love, and still respecting the memories of her, just, you know, her clan, her family, her ancestors. It's just a really well done scene. And then of course Dan Heng has a new power where he can like transfer people through water with the power of Fagusa. Insane. I love that. Like that's the way it came up was this. Hey, so I was practicing that power of the Titans that you taught me about. Oh, cool. Can you do it? Yeah, I can. it's so sudden, but so great as well. Really, really great stuff, honestly. Okay, let's go talk to Finon. Yeah, all this stuff with like Cynthia, freaking incredible. Like such good stuff. Let's see what Finon say. This walk up here is always incredible, isn't it? It really is.
I know this is a big ask, Namazune. I hope you understand.
Look at him, man. Is he delegating again?
Please don't say that, Lord Finon. It's an honor for us to be entrusted with this task.
Wow. Look at this. Well, I think that, like, you know, Aglaya knew he already had respect of a lot of people, you know what I mean? 100%. So the respect carrying over into his new duties is really cool.
Go then. Let's hope our concerns don't come true.
He has like a deep authoritative voice now when he's talking to people too. But I think there's also a mixture of like, you know, heavy duty in that voice, you know?
I hope you all return
and,
safely, my lord.
You know, emotions. This is crazy that it's happening now. This is crazy. Look at little Ben.
There you are, partner.
You see what I mean? I think the weight of this responsibility, everything that's happened, it's not changed Finon in terms of like how much we're gonna love him, in terms of like how nice he is, but you can feel it in his voice. There is a weight there now.
You didn't oversleep this time, did you?
A pink puppy woke me up. I never show up late for important things, so maybe I'll go back and grab a quick nap. It's very funny. Look at Mem.
Since you're here, make yourself comfortable. You can take a nap while we're waiting for everyone else.
Cool. That is so sweet, Finon. That is so sweet that he understands Stell on such a level. You know what I mean? Like, for him to be like, oh yeah, you can take a nap. Like, he's such a sweetheart.
Ready, comrade? If all goes according to plan, this could be the last battle where we fight at each other's side.
Because we'll be returning home, right?
If the curse separating Amphoreus from the world beyond the sky is truly Aquila's doing, then you'll be able to return home after their fall.
It's a huge deal because, like, while this is Act 4 of Amphoreus, it's still kind of crazy when you think about it that we've been through, like, so much. Like, more than usually would be, like, I think in, like, other acts. Not because the other acts aren't, like, but I mean just, like, in terms of timing, right? Because I feel like we went through a hell of a lot. Like, by Act 2, the crazy stuff that was happening in Penacony, like, the end of Act 2 felt like the end of a video game. Like, it was like the ending of an entire franchise, how crazy it was. But I feel like Amphoreus is so long, they pack so many, like, crazy things into, like, these things that, like, we're on Act 4 now, and it feels like we're on, like, Act 15. Not in, like, a pacing-wise way, because actually I'm, like, still feeling very energized by this game, but more just in, like, a emotional heaviness, I guess. Oh. A day on the ground feels like 10 years in the sky.
Really? That's the first time I've heard that.
Oh, his voice, man.
She just makes things up. Don't take it too seriously.
I'm assuming we can fix the car.
Sorry, I'm no help there.
Don't worry. Dan Heng mentioned that Counselor Lygus can help you with that.
Right. And insincerely, I'll miss you all. Insincerely? What do you mean insincerely? No.
You sound a little insincere there, buddy.
Why would it be insincere about that?
That was totally insincere, partner.
Aren't I supposed to be reincarnating as a Titan? Look at her face.
That would be a problem. We'll need to get you home before Aranova.
Oh, so like, is it saying that like if we don't, like, before Aranova happens, we need to get you out of here so you don't reincarnate?
Let's leave the emotional goodbyes for later.
Sure.
That'll give us some time to figure out what we should be feeling at that time. Besides, when we were playing the Seal Slammers...
Seal Slammers.
that bumping seal game, didn't you teach me something back then?
We were bumping seals?
Crack the champagne at halftime to watch victory slip away.
Well, it's 10:12 time now. We can totally open the champagne.
Well, then I have to use something else Dan Heng taught me as comeback. The last mile is the hardest.
It's kind of.
Hey, speaking of Dan Heng, where is he?
He arrived before everyone else and climbed to the cliff top to wait for us. He's probably not keen on being the center of attention.
I guess.
Lord Finan, please make sure you
Oh,
all
look
come
at
back
this.
safely.
Please defeat the indifferent Eye of Twilight.
Holy
and restore
hell.
compassionate sky to Amphoreus.
The support, man.
Thank you all for your blessings.
The voice change.
Rest assured, we're fully prepared.
Did you see this? The heaviness of his voice sounded like this, and when he has to talk to the people in total, he is doing his, it's almost like mimicking himself, right? Because this is how he sounded. He was always real with us. Like, when he sounded like this, he was always real with us. He was always just very passionate and kind. Now that he has the heaviness to his voice, and you can feel the heaviness to his voice, it almost feels like, oh, I better be the Finan that everyone expects me to be. Turn around. Thank you all, you know?
But I'm not the main attraction today. Please don't hesitate to cheer for Miss Hyacine when she arrives.
Heck yeah.
Miss Hyacine, the chosen daughter of the sky, the pride of the Twilight Courtyard.
The goat.
She's not just the pride of Akama, but all of Amphoreus as well. And furthermore, while the Flame Chase journey is led by the Chrysos heirs, it's not just those chosen by Aglaya who contributed to it. Let's extend our gratitude to the 2 warriors of the Outlands.
No way.
Who bravely stepped up and risked their lives for those they've never met.
That's what being a trailblazer is. You choose your own journey, right?
Hero, your saga will be chronicled in epics and celebrated across the new world.
Warrior from the Outlands, endowed with the might of Orynyx, the vanguard of deliverance.
This is so fun. Look at Stell, like all embarrassed as well. This is very cute. Quite the flatterer, aren't you? Looks like you mastered public speaking now. I do love that what they did, like, again, Finan's voice acting is so good. There's something very simple here. What happened there with my voice? Here. There's something very simple here, where he says, furthermore, is it? Or what does he say here? Yeah, furthermore. Listen to the furthermore.
She's not just the pride of Akama, but all of Amphoreus as well. And furthermore.
Just such a simple thing to put in your voice acting, right? To be like, and furthermore. Because again, he's still getting used to this. He's not perfect. He's still getting used to it. He was a bit shaky on the furthermore. But again, people don't notice that stuff if you're confident about it, right? Very cool stuff.
After all this time, you should know when I'm just being polite and when I'm genuinely speaking from the heart.
Of course, I know you love us. Jesus Christ, Finan.
That praise was heartfelt, partner. Had I not trusted my instincts and put my faith in you and Dan Heng.
Why is it cut off?
It's hard to imagine what might have become of Ak.
Why is it cut off? Okay.
The guest of honor has arrived.
Because, like, you know when you're, like, watching, like, an anime and then it cuts off the text and, like, you're like, oh, something bad is about to happen, you know? Oh, the face is turning as well. The smiles. Look. Oh my god. Can she not just stay here? Look at this. And they're all cheering for her as she walks by. Can she not just not do anything? Can we not just stay? No one do a thing. The nod of the head.
People of Akama, I've been blessed by the ancestors of the Sky People. They have agreed to bestow the 1,000-year mission to me, and to have me claim the core flame of Aquila.
Yeah, she talked them into not talked them into, because it's not like they didn't have faith in her, but she talked them into it in a way that was like just so well spoken. Wait.
Today is the year 4,932 of the light calendar. 1,062 years since the hero Seliose initiated the flame chase journey.
Sorry, I think I turned down the sound effects. You think that's... But it shouldn't be that low, right, with the claps?
I, Hyacine of the Sky People, am prepared to lead the children of humanity back to the sky.
Look at this image as well. Again, as I said, that there's a go-getterness with Hyacine. There is a yeah, I wouldn't even say, I don't want to say it's confidence, because I think everyone has like a you know, tinges of confidence and stuff like that as well. But I think it's just like when she says something, you have like full trust in it. She seems like so determined, you know.
History doesn't breathe evenly. At times, it suspends its breath for millennia, as though time is frozen. At other times, it pants rapidly, as if poised to topple the world and our civilization in an instant. Its hurried gasps have sparked a tempest, sweeping all of us along. Hyacine, as an observer, you've witnessed the return of 4 core flames. And now, it's your turn to fulfill your duty.
Fine on the leader.
Please, guide us into the heart of the storm as the executioner of this mission.
Incredible stuff. Like, he's really stepping up to the plate, right? He really is. Man, she is so, like, even when she's like she's such a little face, by the way. Like, she's so like determined. You know what I mean? And she has this determination. And even though, like, I guarantee you, there's fear. I guarantee you, there's an aspect of being scared. I guarantee you, some of this stuff is terrifying. But obviously, she's thought about this for like her whole life. You know? Yeah, I think the sound effects were turned down too low. It's crazy that turning it down to 6 would make it the claps not come out. That's insane. What a freaking story this is, and what a way, like, the characterization of the characters of Amphoreus has been so incredible. But it's not surprising, because we came from Penacony that had, like, you know, the adventuring storyline, you know what I mean? Like, so they had a lot to, like, follow. You know what I mean? They had a lot to follow. They had the Acheron stories, the you know, like, it really was just a you know, characterization. And aww. And I was gonna say, it's not just of Penacony. Like, we came from the Xian show with the quintet, you know. Even Balabok set a tone with Sela and Bronya. You know what I mean? There was like there's always been like a tone of like how amazing characters are, but we have like something here that is just like truly crazy in terms of like how well the writing is. It's awesome. Although, it still feels very terrifying because, oh, it's Kratos.
I hope the Chrysosairs triumph and bring light to this darkening world.
Kratos, what you think? Yeah, Kratos is such an interesting character, and I think, like, intentionally so. I like having a character who I absolutely despise, who I've grown to be like, okay, he's stepping up. You know what I mean? I'm grown to, like, appreciate a little more. And I think that's, like, a really strong thing for any character. There's a show I watched, that I loved a lot. I'm not going to spoil it, but like I remember the character was horrible, and then eventually I grew to love them, and to me that just means like good character writing, you know.
They'll surely seize the core flame of Sky and bring the flame chase journey to its perfect conclusion.
There's a motivating but also a terrifying factor about having people be like so sure that you're going to do something well, right? It can be motivating, but it's like with anything, it can also just be terrifying, you know. They're surely gonna do this, you know what I mean? Am I surely gonna do this, you know? But I think, I hope that for Hyacine this gives her like that motivation, you know what I mean? Rather than being too much pressure. But you never know with this stuff. You never know. It can be either or. Luca picking the right time. Well, it's not the right time to train.
Thanks for waiting, Dan Heng.
Dan Heng coming up here because he didn't like to be in the spotlight is so cute.
The team tasked with conquering Aquila has finally assembled.
We've reshaped the history of the world with our hands over and over. I bet this trailblazing expedition could even make Akavili jealous.
I mean, at this stage, especially like with what we've both been through as well, you know? We'll go home as soon as this battle finishes. Such an exciting adventure. March is going to be crying with jealousy. March is in trouble. March is in serious trouble and we don't even know. This trailblazing expedition is about to end perfectly. Yeah, let's say this.
So full of energy, comrades. Seems I chose the perfect day.
I mean, we, and that's the thing that's hard about it is like, I always like in stories I always get that like that tinge in my heart when I'm like, no, don't leave, you know, you can't leave, you know, please. There's also a sadness to understanding that like some places aren't like your home. They're like a second home, but like it's like eventually Stella and Dan Heng are just gonna have to return to Himiko and Welt and March, and we want them to be there with those characters and Pom Pom and Sunday. We want them to be with those characters, but it doesn't make like saying goodbye any easier, you know what I mean? Even though, like, here's the thing, right? Let's not beat around the bush here. This isn't probably goodbye for Amphoreus, you know? Like, it's not, like, again, I don't like it. I don't need to be like come on, you know, nudge, nudge, you know? But like, it's Act 4. You know what I mean? It's not the end of Amphoreus.
Hyacine, it's all yours now.
There could be a return to the Astral Express and then, you know.
The Skyfolk once divided into many tribes.
And that's what I mean by like, oh, like I just mean that like Amphoreus isn't done yet, which means that I think there could be a return for Stell and Dan Heng to the Astral Express, but I don't think it's the end for their journey on Amphoreus.
The Sun Folk worshipped the sun. The Rain Folk were devoted to storms, and the Winter Folk waited for signs in the snow. Our ancestors lived under Aquila's light, yet they were blinded to all but one color. They forgot that the light that illuminates the world is made of countless different colors. That's why the rainbow is my favorite.
Oh man.
For not only does it reflect the many colors, it is also a bridge. And I want to use the Rainbow Bridge to link everyone's hearts and give hope to every soul on Earth.
And this is why they accept her so easily to being like that that person who can do this. Like, you know, we even saw what was it Extra saw like her optimism and saw how beautiful that was. Her grandmother saw how like, you know, absolutely, you know, well she turned out and realized that she is like, you know, yeah, she might just be this right person's job, even if she doesn't want her granddaughter to do this because she wants her to be kind of safe all the time. And even Crispus, Cremus, he like was saying that there's like there's a resilience to you. So much of what she's saying here is exactly what those people saw in her, you know?
Ancestors, with the rainbow as your guide, lead me back to the home of the Skyfolk, a land we have not seen for 1,000 years.
That determined voice as well. Hi, Cynthia. No way. No, look at the little she is.
Oh, Rainbow Bridge.
She's tiny.
Please guide us to ascend to the skies once
No
more.
way. What? It's happening so soon. Oh my god. Look at that.
Friends, let us soar together.
Hi, Cynthia. Holy crap.
Flying along the Rainbow Bridge is truly an amazing experience.
I kind of would have wanted to see that, but like still, like the fact that they went up there, so like you guys know I don't use the term like aura farm or whatever when it comes to something as well. I barely even know the terms used fully, But like Hyacinthia standing in front of a rainbow bridge as the wind of the bridge as it forms blows her hair back a little bit. She turns back and smiles at everyone and is like, hey, let's go. Like, that's like peak Hyacinthia right there. That's so beautiful.
The Eye of Twilight. It's the legendary sky fortress of Aquila. I never imagined that one day I'd be able to step foot on it.
My ancestors once built a magnificent civilization among the heavens. The Eye of Twilight, which we are standing on, is the home of Aquila and the heart of the city-state in the clouds. This must be where the hero Seliose stood when she challenged Aquila and began the first step of the flame.
And that's when she's
journey.
rechasing the steps of her ancestors, right? You know, which is like a really interesting idea. And I think we can all do this in normal life, but obviously this is a lot of pressure and heavy and weight to it, right?
We are here to end the journey she began.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in legends? It's our turn to let's be motivating.
Yes. What we must do will not change, no matter how much of the legends are true.
According to historical records, the civilization that worshipped Aquila once mastered advanced technology, which made their strategically located sky castrum the only force that could face Castrum Kremnos head-on in the Chrysos War.
Okay.
But they were divided within. The frequent wars started by the Chrysos heirs drained their power, especially after the prophecy descended. In the end, they had to hide among the clouds, far from the conflicts raging below.
Apparently, the division was between the two most important sky tribes, the Sunfolk and the Rainfolk.
So let me get this, as we always like to read over stuff as well. So they're saying that, like, because of what happened with the fight against Castrum Kremnos, they became divided because they, like, I guess, hid themselves inside, I guess? Inside the Sky Castrum? And when the prophecy descended, they had to hide amongst the clouds. And the war started by the Chrysos heirs was draining their power. So they had to hide away.
And Seliose's frustration towards the endless strife among her people made her turn her spear towards the Titan above.
She's actually so sick, Seliose. So sick. Where did she go in the end? Wasn't it that she was up in the sky and she has like the core flamer?
After driving the enraged Titan to the brink of defeat with her two winged companions, they all vanished somewhere in the sky. Her courage was unparalleled.
100%, and she looks so cool too in the artwork. I think they said that like she was waiting. She wanted someone to take her core flame, right?
Yet she still could not end Aquila, nor bring back the core flame of sky. Some say she sealed the wrath of the god within herself, trapping them deep within the Eye of Twilight to support the heavens of Amphoreus forever.
In other words, she became one with the Titan. I would have considered it a fairy tale.
This is great,
but after
okay.
seeing what happened with Professor Anaxa,
This is fantastic because now that explains what I was saying earlier. I was like, wait, did they know that you could become a Titan? But no, now that they're saying she became one with the Titan, originally it was just the idea of a fairy tale, which makes perfect sense. Like, it's like people would think like, oh yeah, sure, and then you see proof of it later on. You're like, oh wait, that thing must be true then back then. It's no longer a fairy tale. Really well done how they did this, 100%.
Has that Titan and that fused hero been looking down on the world from here for 1,000 years?
Yeah, just very cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, like, it's natural to have, like, a lot of questions, right, when it comes to that type of stuff, where I'm like, wait, why would that be? Why would that be? But I think what's so good about Honkai Star Rail is that they've done that in the past where I'm like, wait, why would that happen? And then they answer the question, like, 2 seconds later, because they're, like, really good at, like, keeping continuity and stuff like that. 100%. So that's, to me, is just so interesting that people read the story before and were like, that's just fairy tale mumbo jumbo, and the people that follow the Sky Titan were probably like, no, this isn't the Sky Tribes. This is not mumbo jumbo. It's true. We believe it. And then eventually, like, your stuff is like proven true by Anaxagoras, you know?
It's so quiet here.
It's
Whoa.
been so long. Maybe the Eye of Twilight has already turned into ruins.
It's a gorgeous location, isn't it? I mean, they tend to be. They tend to be gorgeous locations in Honkai Star Rail. What the? What was that? Is that supposed to be like that? I'm always worried that whatever... Oh my god, this is like, the lighting here is fantastic though, like... Pure darkness. I'm always worried with Honkai Star Rail, like, because my game glitches sometimes, which, by the way, someone in the comments, and I do thank them for this, like, actually reported to Hoyo with their own bug. And Hoyo said that they're going to try and look into it, which means that I'm guessing hopefully 4.1 fixes it. I don't know. But hopefully.
Something's not right. I can kind of feel how big and empty this place is. But all I can see is darkness.
What's on the other side of this?
It's like little flashing like TV lights.
Maybe it's the celestial mural.
What's that?
The Sky City believes that mural to be connected to Amphoreus' sky. And any weather condition depicted on it will become actual weather.
Oh?
The mural would reflect Aquila's shifting mood, like clear skies, fog, snow, or thunderstorms. The sky priests would gather here during peaceful times and pray to the god for warm breezes and good harvests.
I actually like really love those stories, even though obviously I don't believe in those stories. I really love like hearing about like how different civilizations like were praying for. Because again, if you really think about it, like we can act like, oh, they were so dumb. But like when you think about it, like without technology and being born with people explaining things and having books on geography and geology and all this stuff as well, you see a mountain for the first time and you're like, that's God. Like what the hell is that? Like how does that happen? Or like you see like rain fall from the sky. How are you not going to be like, oh my God, guys, this rain falls down and we get more food? How, like, of course you would start thinking God. You know what I mean? Of course you would.
To put it in words that Gray and Danny would understand, just think of it as a massive screen.
Okay, that's fine. I got it. I got this team. Once the appropriate resolution is crazy as well.
In any case, exploring in the dark is never a good option. If we could light up the mural, it might just provide us with the light needed to move forward.
I love that the mural is very technological, right?
That really conspicuous device might be part of the ritual. Let's go take a look. It's dark, so watch your feet.
I think it's a really cool visual. It's a really cool visual. I mean, the game already looks fantastic, but I'm no problem saying I actually like recently got an OLED, and like, and here's the thing, I'm one of those people to be like, oh, like, you know, I like it, new technology, wow. So I had my TV that I just recently, like, you know, upgraded for like nearly 10 years. You know what I mean? Well, like nearly, not nearly 10 years, like over closer to 10 years than I did to 1 year. Is that what is how you'd say it? And like, man, this game does look incredible. I mean, the game already looks incredible, but like, holy hell, this game is insane. It really is. But if you're like thinking to yourself, like, well, I don't need an OLED. You're very, very right. Like this game, like if you're playing Honkai Star and you're like, I don't have an OLED. It's like, yeah, this game is gonna look. This game will look. I bet this game will look incredible on a CRT. I bet this game would look absolutely incredible on a CRTV. This game would look incredible on anything. Like, it really would.
How about it? Got any leads?
Actually, specifically, when I was away for a bit recently, as you guys remember, I was in a different location. I was playing on a TV that was like nearly 20 years old, and it was like one of those TVs like that still had the HDMI's, but like it wasn't. It was very like bulky and yeah. And this game is still gorgeous. You know what I mean? This game is just gorgeous, no matter what.
I have no idea how to turn it on. If only we had help from the wisdom of those who came before us.
It's a really cool visual.
That's it. I almost forgot. Gray, Memi, can I borrow your powers?
Leave it to the demigod of time. Counting on you, Mem.
Got it. We just need to find the scattered memory nearby, right? That's simple. Give me a little time. Feel the flow of time. Over there. And over there. Done. There haven't been many people for a while, so the traces of time are super obvious.
Oh, great. And it's crazy that Mem can do this and then like just act like it was nothing, you know?
I knew you could do it, Memmy. You are a huge help.
Memmy. Hyacine is absolutely lovely. Yeah, this is a really cool element too, like talking to people from the past as well. So read through the past memories and search for clues.
Foolish rainfolk.
They're probably the sun. You know, the rainfolk are probably calling you foolish too.
The great Aquila has already left a mark of their manifestation among the golden clouds.
Yeah.
The gods' choice is clear. Only we, the Sunborn, are the true heirs of the skies. This war is destined to end in the victory of the Sunfolk.
Like as I said, I don't believe in God, but like people presuming that they know what God wants is insane.
May the Eye of Twilight never close. May eternal daylight embrace the land.
Like this is like delusional to think that your faction of the same religion is going to be the one that is like most like respected. You know what I mean? It's like that's not how it works.
Left a mark among the golden clouds. Is this referring to the celestial mural? But we can't see anything right now.
So something about leaving a mark among the clouds. You know what I'm saying? It's like as I always say, like I've said a million times in all my playthroughs, there's nothing wrong with like being religious. There's nothing wrong whatsoever being religious. But it's one of those situations where it's like, it's when you start like thinking that your religious faction is better than the other religious faction, that's when it gets crazy. You know what I mean? That's when it gets like, okay, you're going a bit far. I respect anyone who wants to practice religion as long as you're a good person, you know? Doesn't bother me.
Arrogant sunfolk.
Exactly what I was thinking.
The Titan will condemn your brazen disrespect.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But Aquila, you that shaped the sky, why do you avoid the pursuit of dark clouds? Are not clear skies and stormy rains equally your creation?
Interesting. So are they like talking about how like there hasn't been a dark, like they're asking for like a dark cloud and rain?
The Sunborn see your behavior as an act of favoritism towards them, and weaponize this reason to oppress my people.
She's very torn up about this.
The Rainfolk will not suffer in silence. Oh God, if you remain silent, we shall have to forge our own weapons
Jesus
and
Christ.
resist the malice concealed under your brilliance.
And this is what's so crazy. Is it's like it's so realistic because this happens too in real life. It's like God believes in me. No, God believes in me. Okay, then how about we kill each other about it? It's like, stop.
May the Eye of Twilight never open. And may torrential rains descend forever.
So we literally saw whenever there was a sunny day as preferential treatment? Is that what we're saying here? Or was on the mural we saw sunny days?
Avoid the pursuit of dark clouds. Aquila doesn't like rainstorms. It seems a little hard to believe. But we should write this clue down first.
It is, as the rumors said. The Sky Castrum was far from united.
For sure.
My guess was right. This venue is indeed where celestial rituals were performed. Memmy, can you retrieve even more memories?
No problem at all. Here goes.
Mem is so talented.
There we are.
Oh, someone right at the center point there.
Wind, snow, rain, shine. In the name of the sky's 100 eyes, I bring celestial phenomena upon the world.
I wonder if this is what we have to say.
The turn of dawn and dusk. Commanding the celestial globe. Awaken, celestial mural.
Stop, foolish Cloudborn!
So someone from the Sunfolk is attacking someone from the
How
Cloudborn.
dare you tamper
Cloudfolk.
with the celestial globe and distort the weather? This is blasphemy.
Oh, that's what she... So I guess this is the one who was like upset, right? Was upset about what was happening with the preferential treatment.
The Titan bequeathed the celestial globe to our ancestors, so that we could divide the light and dark equally between day and night.
Oh.
So that all things could grow beneath the celestial phenomenon they preferred.
Wait, is this what they meant between dusk and dawn? Like the repairing of dusk and dawn? Because in the time bequeathed celestial globe to our ancestors so we could divide light and dark equally. So I wonder if they're saying the repairing of dusk and dawn earlier is, do you think that is that this celestial globe became preferable or preferred the sunlight? And that's why it's always like so bright maybe.
But the Sunborn have asserted control over the celestial mural. And now the days are endless, subjecting the land to drought and burning. And you have the gall to accuse the rainfolk, who you've oppressed.
Great voice acting here as well. Then you need rain. You need rain to survive. You need rain for crops to survive.
The land? It is our eternal nemesis.
The land?
How can storm clouds and rain, unloved by Aquila, lead the sky folk to victory in the Chrysos War?
You need food in the Chrysos War. You need crops.
Your character is as weak as your faith. Go seek out a corner untouched by the sun and weep solitary tears in the shadows. That's all you lot know how to do anyway. Cry in silence.
Buddy literally said, go cry in a corner.
Then let us show you what we are really made of.
You? What are you? What are you trying to do?
What's happening?
Fanatics whose minds have been muddled by the heat.
What?
By Aquila above, meet your demise.
There's such passion there too. Did she kill him?
What a terrifying memory.
He looked like he was quivering though beforehand.
Brutal internal strife is sad to see. It appears the Sky Cities didn't fall to external threats after all.
It was internal.
The proud Sun folk saw themselves as divinely chosen, exacting long-standing oppression on other tribes. And the rain folk suffering beneath them began resenting the divine and plotted their retaliation.
Tale as old as time. Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot where if one group is subjugated, naturally they're going to want to fight back, right? You see the story of colonized worlds all over the place. I mean, Ireland was a colonized country before we fought back, you know. You'll see that all the time. But what's so interesting to me as well is, like, if what I'm guessing is true, is that they took Aquila... They took, like, the default of it being sunny all day as being, like, oh, the sun folk have been chosen. But obviously, if there's only sun constantly and no nighttime, no rain, nothing else, it's not ideal conditions for crops to grow in, for water to survive. You're going to have droughts. You're going to have crops destroyed and not being able to grow properly. So I wonder if, like, the constant daytime in Akama is because of this same thing that happened here, which is, like, what they believe to be a blessing from Aquila, to be like, yeah, the sun guys are the right ones. It's sunny all day for a reason, you know? I totally, like, side with the rain folk in a way, like, because it's like, man, you need rain. You need it. Whenever there's, like, extended periods of just sun, we saw what happened in LA. There was, like, a water drought, you know?
The divine set the stage and the mortals perform the play. This isn't the first time we've witnessed such a scene while trailblazing.
Yep. We are ants when they want to start this stuff.
No matter the era, conflict among humans is destined to persist. Having witnessed the actions of Kindness and the Cleaners, it isn't so hard to understand this piece of history.
Yes, 110%, because yeah, how much they, like, wanted to have internal fighting as well, how much they plotted and schemed. Are they saying as well that then Aquila did this on purpose to, like, maybe, like, or maybe it's just like, you know, she just set the stage and then they fought. Like, it's not like she did it on purpose, but they the consequences of this is what happened here. I'm curious which side. The resistance did nothing wrong. I'm on the side of Team Rain. You need rain. You need rain to survive.
There's nothing but empty silence here. I fear there were no winners.
A lot of death.
The hero Seliose. How did she view the ancient feud between the Sun folk and Rain folk? The legends focus on her god-slaying expedition, but are hazy on the fall of the sky denizens. Perhaps I can piece together the true face of history here.
That'd be great, right?
One step at a time. Do you remember the verse that rain folks sang, Hyacine? Perhaps that's the key to unlocking the celestial mural.
Yes, I already memorized it. Now, shall we try to wake it up?
So we have to wake up the celestial globe to activate the celestial mural now. Yeah, like, I think it is, like, it's very important. I love that Honkai Star Rail continues to do stuff like what it says, like, this is just a tale of as old as time. This is a normal occurrence that happens in the world, even though it's horrible. Because we see it all the time in the world, too. It's like, and it's even like stuff like, we see it, I've seen it in, like, other games and other stories, too, and you see it in the world happen as well, where, like, if you put people, I mean, look, Balebog is a perfect example. It's a perfect example. You put people in an enclosed space, make them struggle, factions will form. A feeling of importance rains down on one side. The dominant side starts to win. The other side is punished. It happened in Balebog with the underworld area, when all of a sudden resources became so small. You had these infighting between everyone down below. And while you could say, well, one side was clearly just being absolutely awful, but like, yeah, they were. But I also think at the same time too, it's like, I feel like situations and dark situations also create like awful people. You know what I mean? It's like, and what happened here was basically that the Aquila somehow set the world to be sunlight where she didn't like rainstorms in some way. She set it up where, like, maybe, I don't know, unintentionally or intentionally, where then the sun folk who worship the sun were like, woo, we were right, you know, yeah. And then the rain folk who, like, worship the rain and all the other people who worship different elements are like, what the hell? Like, we need this stuff. It created a dominance from the sun folk where they could feel like they were emboldened by what they had, you know, seen. It's actually, like, really, it makes sense. Like, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying it makes sense in terms of like, oh yeah, you're totally right, sun folk. I mean, it makes sense in terms of the story. It's like that, yeah, they would be emboldened by that. If you worship the sun this whole time, then all of a sudden there was an endless sun and endless daylight. And then there was no more rain. There was no wind or snow in the world below. You're gonna start being like, yeah, Aquila chose us. She said we were right, you know? That doesn't excuse their actions, by the way, I'll make that clear. I'm just saying that in terms of a story. In terms of a story.
Wind, snow, rain, shine. In the name of the sky's 100 eyes, I bring celestial phenomena upon the world. The turn of dawn.
Look at her.
Commanding the celestial globe. Awaken, celestial mural.
Wait, oh, it's like a freaking bolt? Whoa, that is bright.
Golden clouds, blazing radiance. What a breathtaking scene.
It's incredible what they've done here.
Look, the mark of their manifestation mentioned by the memory fragment.
Like even the way this place is lit up now, it feels like a different location.
How chilling. I wonder if Aquila is also watching us.
Mam and Cell sharing a look here as well.
I remember the Rainfolk mentioned the Titan dislikes overcast days. We might be able to use this to our advantage and change how the mark is behaving by changing the weather on the mural.
Oh, like make them a bit angry?
Wouldn't this affect Akuma?
Don't worry. The mural probably lost its original function ages ago. Akuma's light comes from the dawn device shouldered by carefully anyway.
This music. Can I say that would have been pretty cool to see like rainfall on Akuma?
That being said, there's no power in this device anymore.
Look at this.
We have to find another celestial globe if we want to change the weather on the mural.
Okay. This music, man. There's like a determination in it, right?
There! That circular device. I'm quite familiar with it.
You know what I mean? It feels like it's like a new part of the adventure start to begin or something.
That's a west wind compass of the Twilight Courtyard. We can use it to create a miniature rainbow bridge to walk on.
Lovely.
Who knows? It might even lead us to other areas of the Eye of Twilight. Technology passed down from the Golden Age is finally proving useful. Let's go. Leave the adjustments and calibrations to me.
She is so good. And when she said that the music changed as well, like she really has like stepped up to the plate. You know what I mean? It's hard not to believe in her. I've gone from being like, oh no, something. Oh my god, look at this, man. Look at this. With this music as well. Holy hell. This is incredible, man. This is what I look for in an RPG. This is what makes me remember an RPG. This music in the background, this incredible location. I'm never gonna forget this. Never. Holy hell. I was gonna say that with Hyacinthia, like, I went from being like, I don't want her to move because I don't want something to happen. Her determination has now turned me into like a believer. You know what I mean? I'm just like, now I'm like, yeah, let's go. This place is absolutely incredible. Like the gold trim of everything. How like they really did a great contrast from the pure darkness that we saw as well. Really fantastic.
That huge golden pool down
Oh my
there.
god.
A boiling pool of gold, said to be the energy source that powers the Eye of Twilight's divinity. You should watch your step as you walk.
Boiling pool, by the way.
The mechanical structure is a bit different from the one used in the Twilight Courtyard. How should I put this? It's a little more complicated.
You don't know how to work it? Mechanical simplification is the future. No photo, there's no challenge. Either or of these, like, I'll just say this, I guess.
Can you handle it, Hyacine?
This might take a while, but I think I can manage.
We believe in you 100%. No way, is it a puzzle? Observe the starting point, finish point, the direction of the arrow on the compass, and the distribution of the red obstacles. Rotate the rings on the compass to reach a finish point without running into obstacles. Wait, what? Following the arrow's direction upon leaving the starting point. The red fan-shaped zone represents obstacles that block the path, and the route cannot pass through them. Be sure to avoid them while connecting with. This is gonna be sick. Use the select button to choose a specific ring and then use the rotate button to turn it. When a route has been connected, a hint will appear on the compass. Tap the confirm route button to finalize your route. After confirming a route on the compass, a mechanism will be triggered. Look how beautiful it is. Would have been nice to keep this as like a thing that we saw in game, you know? But it still looks cool. I'm sure it'll look even more breathtaking in the actual game itself. It looks really cute. A rainbow path will be added to the map according to the specific state of the compass.
Deep breaths and find the way out.
So we can rotate this. Okay. We need to connect the routes so as well. Let me check the rules one more time just to ensure. So, observe the starting point. Okay. I'm not quite sure, like, on this, the music's so cool. I'm not quite sure on this. Rotate the rings of the compass to reach the finish point without running into obstacles. Observe the starting point, the direction of the arrows on the compass, and the... Okay, so... Is the starting point the middle point then? No, it's here. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's literally here. That makes so much sense. Okay. And then we have to go... like this. Yeah.
I think this should be right.
So cool. I wish it was longer. That's actually really fun. Look at, okay, I was wrong.
Look, the rainbow bridge has appeared.
I was like, oh, why would they show us this in the picture? Because the actual real thing looks even better in the picture.
Well done. Now we can cross.
This music, man.
Hey, careful.
We walk. Is that the thing that fought alongside the Day Thunder Knight?
Is that a winged Pegasus?
I didn't mean to click that. I've been pressing X again, like, really badly.
Looks like a mythical beast. But this one doesn't seem hostile towards us.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's trying anything.
Hyacine! Could it be the legendary?
I was thinking it was the thing that fought alongside the Day Thunder Knight.
I'm not entirely sure. We might be able to tell if we get closer.
We can't assume it's friendly. Keep your guard up and follow it.
Let's see. Man, that's freaking awesome, man. Look how pretty this is. We're walking on rainbows.
Legend has it that the hero Seliose was always flanked by two winged companions. Solus and Lunibus. They were her steeds and comrades.
So is this Lunibus?
If they are still alive, they might help us confront Aquila.
That's so sick if that's true. Yeah, this place is incredible. It's insane how good this place looks. Absolutely insane. Man, like, look, this is like an RPG location that is, again, you remember forever. It's burned into my brain.
It disappeared.
An illusion? Or the memory dissipated?
Do you think he's trying to guide us to something, maybe?
How strange. That Pegasus was different from the other memories. It was surrounded in an air of sorrow.
Interesting, okay.
Oh, it's so heavy that it's hard to breathe.
Was that Lunibus's phantom? Did it appear here because it has unfinished business?
If that's really the case, there must be a super strong obsession keeping it in one piece. Could it be some remaining bits of Seliose's will?
We can't be sure of that yet. Let's take the elevator up to the Eye of Twilight's core first.
So the idea that Seliose's will is still there, the idea of like the will left behind, because I think that like would make sense with Seliose, right? Because the Day Thunder Knight, like the whole thing was like a big determination. Even when they were almost destroyed, they clanked their armor and rushed towards Aquila anyway. And also they wanted the people that came after them to be the one to take the core flame, right? To fulfill their mission. So the determination seems like it passed on to future generations. So why couldn't it pass on to her companions as well that are still here? And that's why they're still here. Luke was born for this mission. Man, the music, the path, the rainbow path.
Lady Lunibus? Is that you? Can you hear me?
That's one of the few times you've heard Hyacine be nervous.
Of the hero Seliose. We have come to complete her mission.
And honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing. Oh, there's some black tide guys up here. I don't think it's a bad thing that she's feeling nervous, by the way. I think it again, it just shows her how much human she really is. Because like, you know, she's been so determined and so brave that the thing that stops her in her tracks is kind of seeing like an actual divine beast. Which would make sense, you know? It makes it much more heavier, right? It's all of a sudden becomes super, super heavy.
That's another one?
What? What is a black tide creature?
Careful! It's not a memory phantom! It looks like it's alive!
Yeah, it looks like a black tide creature.
But it's so twisted and very shadowy, like those black tide creatures.
Exactly that.
Hyacine, watch out!
So, you're Lady Lunibus, aren't you?
Hyacine just walking right up to it, by the way. If you remember, she was also like in the grove. She did no problem just standing there with her hands on her hips from the black tide creatures before as well.
Then that corrupted being before us must be Lord Solus. Did you lead us here so we can free your companion?
Wait, so Solus became a black tide creature? That's very emotionally, like, beautiful, like, Lunibus trying to help us, like, free them.
I understand.
With Solus being a black tide creature, that's such a sad outcome. The black tide, like, even, like, gets mythical creatures.
You must have been tormented by pain for so long. But you didn't give up. And you've held on to what little is left of your will with such tenacity.
Right.
Don't be afraid. You're not alone anymore. I am Hyacine, the healer who inherited the hero's bloodline. Seliose, the Day Thunder Knight, was once your comrade, wasn't she?
Hyacine is so brave, man. She's so brave.
Lord Solus, your body has been completely corroded by the black tide. But I can still heal your tenacious soul. Just like Lady Lunabis, even if you've lost your mortal body, your spirit remains pure. Please.
She's the right person for this.
Keep holding on to what's left of your will, and I will reawaken you as a heroic soul.
Look at her, man. How can you not be just, like, so, like, proud of her? I wonder how much it understood. Time for taking out the bat.
It must have understood me. It's a creature of wisdom and tenacity, despite being mired in the agony of the black tide.
Look at the respect she has for the history of this as well, right? And it's not like she was being rude to Stella. I want to make that clear, but like she quickly snapped in with like, it must.
Solus, the sunlit wings that once accompanied the hero. If this battle can remind you of your great deeds from back then, it would be my honor.
Look at this guy. His voice has changed so much. Not so much, it's still fine, but you know what I mean? It's changed since he started this new journey.
Come on, heroes.
What a great idea. A battle to remind you of who you are, basically. Weather? Due to the effects of the Eye of Twilight, all targets in the field will be affected by weather. That's really cool. While on a sunny day, the battlefield has a temperature effect. At the start of any target's turn, temperature increases. Allies will take continuous burn damage based on temperature. Damage dealt by allies' targets increase based on the temperature. Okay.
Lord Solobes, please break free from the control of the black tide and return to your senses.
It's such a cool idea, by the way, to add like a new mechanic, like the weather mechanics
and for
into
me
this.
To portray the king, well, you gotta make it worth my while.
You gotta make it worth his while.
Stand still.
Where's the applause?
Where's the applause? I always say that.
Worth their salt. Let's see some sparks fly!
Relax.
So, yeah. The temperature battlefield is 41. Allies take continuous burn damage based on the temperature. Cool move. Very cool move.
All in.
Man, look at this. We're doing good. We're doing very good. This team is good, in fairness, though. This team is very, very good. Wait, shouldn't Hyacine have been on the team? Oh, did we not? We weren't playing as her. That's why she's not on the team. Yeah. There's the damage as well, by the way. She's so sick. She's so sick.
Good times.
You know what? Actually, like I would think would make my day, and I really wish it would happen. I hope
Time to
says
say
boom.
bye. Boom.
Lovely, lovely. Made my day. Made my day.
All right, I'll... Don't ask, just spend.
Don't ask, just spend. Not good advice. Please, if you're watching, just do not take that advice. His little laugh.
Stand still.
Watch your
The
head.
follow-ups are so good. Yeah, I love this team. I would say this is definitely my best team, for sure. Imagine being an ancient beast and you get beaten by a bunch of coins falling from the sky.
It's over.
I am the ancient
Solus.
We actually get to hear him talk? Hold your horses, they're actually— oh god, still. Hello, Sister Pegasus.
Oh, so she speaks.
She does speak.
Solus, you're finally awake.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
My consciousness has been lost for far too long. Finally, I have been released from the Black Tide's cage. Little girl, are you Seliose's descendant?
I think it's intentional that they've had Hyacine this small, by the way, because people call her a little girl. You're so small. It's obviously intentional to make it look like, you know, so jarring to people. It's like, oh, you're the one who's gonna be the descendant, you know, and it's definitely intentional.
It is me, Lord Solus. My name is Hyacinthia, and my companions call me Hyacine.
Hyacinthia, you don't have the scent of her on you.
It's been 1,000 years. Seliose's blood may have been in my
Wow.
veins, but the resolve of the Sky People has never been eroded by time. I've journeyed here to fulfill her dying wish.
She always has a good answer, right?
How much do you know about her dying wish?
I know that in order to support the shattered sky, she merged herself with the divine body of the Titan.
Is he gonna say there's something else to it?
And I also know that she left behind a message, calling on future generations to one day ascend to the heavens again and reclaim the core flame of Aquila.
Has the legend changed so much since your people fell to the earth?
So he's saying it has changed.
Girl, you said you're a doctor. You only know how to heal and tend to wounds with such a weak lot in life. How do you plan to challenge
Companions.
the embodiment of the heaven?
She said she's literally taking the back line so she can actually be like, she doesn't have to take the front lines anymore.
With this long sword, heroic sword.
Yes, exactly. And my bat.
As you can see,
Pink glove, we should have said as
we're
well.
all Hyacinthia's companions and comrades.
110%. And that's important. That's Hyacinthia's wishes. That's her story, you know? But again, it's really interesting how they even like the gods and these ancient beasts are bringing up the idea of Hyacinthia's height, her healing. It's been a point of contention, right?
You've already witnessed our combined strength.
It's not bad, but still lacking compared to her.
He said you're not like the Day Thunder Knight.
Solus, let go of your ego
Oh,
and
look at
accept their kindness.
Love that. And again, this shows such a personality amongst these creatures as well, right?
You've been trapped in time by the Black Tide, while great change has spread over the world. If I'm not mistaken, the god of war Nikador also fell to the hands of these warriors.
Lunaba's vouching for us.
We've laid all the other titans to rest, one by one. Now the final target for the flame chase is the master of this sky fortress. Please guide us to an audience with Aquila. Heroic souls. Seliose initiated the era of slaying gods and attaining their flames. Even if she could not witness the end of this era, you will all at least bear witness on her behalf.
Confidence and fierceness. Yes, I do indeed see a shadow of her in you.
What's moving?
Aquila's mark flew away?
Did they sense something?
Maybe they detected our awakening.
Well, perhaps our presence stirred memories of the fierce battle from 1,000 years ago.
I love that they've added so much personality to these mythical creatures.
We learned from past memories that the Sky Titan fears dark clouds. Would you know more about this topic?
What the memo sprite said is true, but you all still need a guide.
Follow me, Hyacinthia and fellow warriors.
Oh, that's so cool.
Let the hunt for the gods start again.
That's so cool.
Is Lady Lunabis not going with us?
I will be waiting for you all at the next
No,
destination,
that's so sick.
Hyacine.
I think like when I say they added personalities to these mythical creatures, sometimes it can be fine to have mythical creatures be like roar and rah, and then like you assess what they mean because they are mythical. But I think that also goes to show that these were companions of the Day Thunder Knight. These are people that knew her well. So I love that even though like it's like, you know, Solus was being very stubborn, I love the stubbornness because it shows that like he has like this that's his way of showing passion towards, look, oh my god, look at that, guys. That's his way of showing passion towards the Day Thunder Knight and this journey, whilst Lunaga's way of showing passion towards the Day Thunder Knight and her journey is to accept these companions more quicker and to convince Solus, right? To be more gentle about the approach, because she's actually seen how the world has changed. Whereas with Solus, he's been trapped in the Black Tide. Probably anger, probably bitter, and still thinking about his former journey with the Day Thunder Knight. But yeah, they added so much personality to this journey is awesome. But with that, guys, I'm going to be ending the video here. And I think it's probably a good place to end it because I think we're about to go into some crazy stuff. I think we're about to just go into some really serious stuff. And I don't want to be at like the 3-hour mark and be like, okay, we're about to fight the boss of this world. And then be like, okay, I'm kind of tired. Let's go back. So I think it makes sense to kind of like venture maybe out for a bit here. And then come back and do the next part in the next one as well. The music fading as well, 100%. Yeah, no qualms about that whatsoever. Always gotta check. Always gotta check. I got mail. Thanks. All these red dots here, I want to get rid of them. You guys keep telling me to keep them. It's so frustrating. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Everybody loves them. Even me. So this to me was very much, and it's going to be more Hyacinthia stuff, which again, as I said, I have no problem saying like, you know, we'd be kind of silly if we said like it wasn't like worrying that it's a Hyacinthia story, right? You know what I mean? Like they give you a story of a character and then they go, what if we like take them away from you? You know what I mean? That's always a worrying thing in Amphoreus. And before someone says like let's say like it does turn out to be like where we lose Hyacinthia in some way, because again, in terms of the actual journey, technically we will lose everybody. This is factual. Like in terms of like actually what's going to happen in terms of the reincarnations and stuff like this, when Era Nova happens, we lose everybody. This is just factual, right? Like they're all going to become Titans, right? So like it's not like it's a thing where I'm saying like, oh, it's like predictable. I'm saying that like it's intentionally like supposed to give that feeling of dread. This journey isn't supposed to be a thing where you're like, oh, happiness and daisies. I think you're supposed to feel this feeling of like, I don't want to lose anyone else, and we could lose someone else. That to me isn't about predictability. It's about like actually how well the story is told, and I think the story is told incredibly well in this sense of that feeling of like what could happen here, and that feeling around that something could be around at any corner. To me, that's just like really well done. It's really fantastic and really well done. This game to me like really has such a great way of telling individual stories, and with Hyacinthia here, I feel like we got to know her so quickly in such a short amount of time from like what we already knew on the base level of her as well. We learned that like even at the start there when she was like a teaching assistant for Anaxagoras, she wanted to help the ordinary people, which is probably what makes her such an amazing healer. She wanted to write stories and footnotes for people that didn't get their stories told like the heroes of this world. She wanted to stay behind on the back lines of the battles, behind the great heroes and warriors. Not great, she's a great hero as well, but behind the warriors so that she could obviously like, you know, heal people and you know, again, be for the common people, help them, heal people. And I feel like, again, that's what makes her such a fantastic healer, you know? Her whole thing is that she has to create, like, a rainbow... well, she doesn't have to create, but, like, there's a rainbow bridge that will guide people to Aquila. And to do this, she had to get permission from 3 different people in her bloodline. I think it was called, what, a bloodline ceremony, I think it was called? And it basically means that the chosen person from the sky... Was a skyfold? Must be worthy to actually reach the heavens. And... it is such a cool idea because what it brought to us was not, instead of just having like a few tasks where the 3 spirits were like, you must answer these riddles 3, you must go to the heavens and fight, you know, Billy Mom, you know, you must fight them, you must jump over this building in a single leap. Like, it's not tasks like that. It was very much like a doubtful feeling towards Hyacinthia, which is intentional because she's a very small character. She has a very scrunchy face when she says anything that's like anyway determined. It's very adorable. So to compare her to the Day Thunder Knight is an intentional comparison, and I love the way they've done this. They've used Hyacinthia's height, rather than it being a disadvantage, it becomes a massive part of her story. And why that her determination and her willingness to do this is so powerful, not because short people can't do good things, but because she is going to be compared directly to the Day Thunder Knight. 100%. She's not a gigantic soldier clad in armor. She's not this terrific beast of a warrior. She is a healer who has, been known for healing and for being gentle. So that's a big part of her story, and it's a really well done aspect of her story that they also do in the physical way with her height. And she meets 3 different spirits, right? Because why they're doing this is the Day Thunder Knight entrusted the descendants to bring back to take the core flame from them and bring it back to the people of the Skyfold. Now, they describe this later with the battle later on with her grandmother too, and it's actually a really well depicted battle. But what's so cool about this later on too is that we find out that the story that was told is not just a fairy tale. The idea, because at first I was very confused. I was like, what? Like, wait, did they know about the did they know about the Titans becoming, or humans becoming Titans? And they didn't. It was just seen as kind of a fable, right? To to live by for a lot of people. But now we even find out, it's like, now that Anaxagoras said this and figured this out, the fairy tale from before, the fable before makes sense, which just happens in life too sometimes when, some scientific thing is proven in the future. Something from the past starts to make more sense. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, okay, so that makes sense with this then. And that's how phenomenons are usually explained in a lot of ways. But it was a beautiful piece of artwork they showed there with the grandmother's story. What an amazing way to show off the Day Thunder Knight's battle with the Sky Titan. A really, really incredible thing they've done there. Yeah, 100%. And it's one of those things where throughout this whole time here with these 3 spirits and the story of the Day Thunder Knight, I grow to love Hyacine even more, because while I can sense that there is nervousness in her, she's so determined that she's practiced this over and over again. She wants to do this whole journey on her own terms. She wants to be a healer. She wants to rewrite the idea of this journey in her own terms. It doesn't have to be this big, gigantic soldier who's fighting this. It's someone who has compassion and love for people and wants people to be happy and to be healthy and all this stuff here. And I think she's doing that in a very good way. But yeah, the 3 spirits she talked to was Crispus Cremus. Crispus Cremus, he said that he kind of admired Hyacine's resilience. And of course, Hyacine, as you noticed there, she was very determined as she was talking to him, and that's because she had thought about this for a long time. And she had talked it over in her head a bunch of times, and I love that. It shows such personality, in my opinion, for her, where it's she practiced this. Of course she did. It's more human. I think that, sometimes in RPGs, you'll have a character just randomly be like, and this is the day that I will fight forever, and I will surely, finally, make my mark on this world, But instead, Hyacine was in the front of a mirror in a room going, and I can do this, and I want to heal people, and I have to try, you know what I mean? It's real. It's so real. Then we had, who's our Extra? Extra said that, won the war against Castrum Kremnos. She liked Hyacine as well, saw her resolve, her knowledge, her optimism and kindness, and believed that she was one of the best people for the job as well, which is a high compliment. And I think that's one thing that you see in Hyacine is her kindness and optimism, and her determination is all there, and her resilience is another thing there as well, 110%. Something that you can see in Hyacine. And of course, she talked to her grandmother as well. And her grandmother, had a really beautiful, sentimental thing for Hyacine. I said, she grew up with so much love, and it makes so much sense because her grandmother basically said, we didn't want this life for you. We were so happy you just being you. We were I love that always happens in big, tough families sometimes where it's and I see this all the time in any family that has that family has a reputation for being tough. And then there's one little Georgie who's just a bit kooky and a bit cute, and he doesn't do much else. He doesn't fight. He doesn't cause any problems. And the rest of the family's we don't want this life for Georgie. We don't want Georgie's not gonna do this life. And in their case, they're Hyacine doesn't have to do this. We love her as she is. And that's how sweet she is. So when her grandmother saw that she was taking on this task, she was taken back a little bit because she's that's my granddaughter. That's the little gal who used to play with toys in front of me. I didn't want this life for her, but she kind of saw that she was determined to do this, and determined to become stronger in that sense as well. In between that, we also had Dan Heng send her to the, the Vortex of Genesis through his powers of manipulating the waters of Agusa. the way they dropped this was so hilarious to me. Like, because again, I know he can manipulate water. I know he can, like, use water powers, and we saw that happen before. But it's so funny that they were just, like, casually just like, yeah, by the way, I can use, like, the powers of Agusa now. You know, it's like, okay, very cool, very cool. But yeah, transferring her over there as well to the Vortex of Genesis, where she met Triby and Cipher, and the Triby and Cipher conversation was pretty much, like, I think, talking about the future tasks that they all have, and how you can tell Triby is kind of like taking up this mantle of like worrying about everybody, just like, you know, which he always has worried about people. But you can see Cipher is given a task by Final, and she's been, you know, she's being her usual kind of jokey self about it. Triby's talking about the pressures that Final has as well. And once again, Cipher says to Hyacine, I didn't think you'd be this short, right? Using the height of a character as a big story point in this way is so freaking perfect. It's so perfect because it doesn't insult their height. In fact, it's a motivating thing where it's like, yeah, Cynthia is short. She's short as heck, but that's what the story is. She's not like Seliose. She's not like the Day Thunder Knight. She is small. She's adorable. She's cute. She got a scrunchy face, you know, and that's why her story is so important. Because not only is she like the opposite feelings of what the usual person would be to fight for this core flame, she is the opposite appearance as well, which is a big thing for people judging people. And then when they find out how determined she is, they feel different afterwards. I love this whole section of talking to like the spirits and talking to Cipher and talking to Dan Heng, all this stuff here, because to me it showed as I said, a determination in Hyacine, but also like it added so much to Hyacinthia's journey, right? How prepared she was, how well spoken she was, how they added the doubts that everyone has about Hyacinthia and made them into something that is actually more motivating for Hyacinthia as well, and motivating for these people to believe in Hyacinthia. It was really, really cool to see this, and even cool to talk to all the spirits too. Also, selfishly, I really love the pairing of Dan Heng and Hyacinthia as well. I think Dan Heng, you know, when he sent her into the Vortex of Genesis and she came back, you could tell how worried he was, because he is a worrier sometimes. But the reason I love the relationship is because and I think it's like one of those things where like, I hope it never make it sound like Dan Heng likes her because she's like a data bank. Because, you know, he loves March and Stell. And March and Stell, like, let's just be honest here, they're not dumb at all. I want to make that clear. Like, anyone who calls them dumb just doesn't know, like, what dumb is. But they don't have the same drive to gather information like Dan Heng does. But he still loves them. He's not shallow. He's not anything like that. It's just that I do think that also when you find someone who you have, like, a lot in common with, it is kind of a nice thing. So with Hyacinthia, like, such an information hoarder, Dan Heng is probably gonna be like, this is my gal, you know, heck yeah. You know, and I love that. I love that he's kind of like, this is like, you know, and they even put their hands on their chin at the same time and their arm under their other arm. It was very cute, and I love their pairing, and it's very fun, and you can tell that they have like a lot of time for each other. And as I said, it shows that Dan Heng also has found friends beyond you know, the journey that they're on here. Because again, we know what they've become acquainted, we know they've become pals, we know that they've become appreciated. Even said it there, like Finan appreciates Dan Heng and Stell. But we see a lot of Stell going on journeys as well. We see Dan Heng going on a few journeys. But it's nice to see, like, as well, those parts where you see Dan Heng has also adapted so well to this place and people love him as well. 110%. It's awesome to see that as well. I love that. I loved the spirited parts. I love the spirited parts. We then actually had us going up to Finan, and Finan was so amazing in this part. Like, he was so incredible. Finan being able to stand up there and, like, not only give motivation to people, but you can tell like his voice has changed. You can tell the weight of this whole situation is making him heavier. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? He is legitimately like more emotionally like heavy. And again, the voice actor for Final is fantastic because I love they show a little bit of shakiness there, but he's trying his best to be determined for the people around him, giving his delegating out, and then also trying to give hope to the people around him as well. And also transferring a lot of the love from himself to Stell, Dan Heng, and Hyacinthia as well, which is a really nice thing of him to do. Hyacinthia shows up and once again does a speech. Again, I guarantee you she's learned so much from Anaxagoras. And I don't mean to give like all the credits of like, you know, this gal to like Anaxagoras. I'm saying more like, if you're around someone and you're being taught by someone, you're going to eventually like learn how to like speak like them. And I think she's actually a better public speaker than Anaxagoras because she has the willingness to be polite, which I loved. Anaxagoras' like willingness not to be polite. That's also a great part of him. But I think, you know, in terms of like points for public speaking, Hyacinthia understands it very well. And we built this rainbow bridge in front of us to this place. Hyacinthia looked fantastic in this moment, and the reason she looks fantastic is because we talk about determination, we talk about that power to move forward, and that's what that was. While we were all kind of stunned by this rainbow bridge, she turned around and was like, I've been waiting for this my whole life. You could see in her eyes. Let's go. And then we saw this unbelievable location here with this giant screen. And we found out about the civil war amongst the people of the Sky Folk, where there was sun folk and rain folk, and they all fought over who was like the most loved. It seemed that what happened was the Titan themselves changed the world so that it was sunny all day. And that's what it seems to be is what happened with Akuma, is that it was sunny all freaking day because of Aquila. And because of this, the people that worshipped the sun started to get emboldened. And they were like, we won. We won. Aquila noticed us first. Which to me is like so dark because, like, as we've learned in Honkai Star Rail, this can be just a situation where like someone's just being, like a god is just being a butt. They're just being an absolute arse. And that's what happened here. It's just the god is just like seems to like not care about the ramifications of what happened here, because not only did crops die and there was droughts and all this stuff too, it caused a lot of infighting, as it would. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. If you have opposing ideals trapped under a terrifying situation like a drought or a lack of food or a lack of water and oppression, you're going to have fights. You're going to have battles. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then it's always the people who are like the oppressors who are like really shocked by it afterwards, you know? It's like, wait, like all I did was like starve you. What the hell, you know? My people are getting hurt now? But all I did was oppress you. What the hell? You know, and they're shocked. They're always shocked. And then you'll see like celebrity pray for the Sunfolk on on Twitter. Like really tone deaf, you know? Even though they're clearly like, to me, very much the ones that were like causing a lot of problems here because of their belief in the sun and all this stuff too. I know you can say, well, Calvin's the Titan's fault for like, you know, making it sunny all day at 110%, but I also think the sun folk like clearly were not being good people in this situation. Yeah, 100%. It really is like a sad situation, but we saw Hyacinthia be able to like, you know, light up this whole screen again. And with that, we got to meet the beast that traveled alongside the Day Thunder Knight. And it was actually a great interaction. Not only did Lunaga lead us on in this journey, it was also a really great thing to see that, is it Solaga? Solaga basically like was like, wait, is that what the Pokemons are based on? Not the Honkai Star Rail, but like maybe the actual like gods themselves. But yeah, the Solaga like went on and had this kind of like very much the same thing everyone has a reaction to, which is like, you're too short. You're not the Day Thunder Knight. And again, I don't mind this because it just emboldens the story of Hyacinthia. And you had Lunaga kind of convincing him as well, which is a beautiful moment because I think that it's like, they both showed their love for the Day Thunder Knight in that moment, where one of them was trying to like protect the image of like the Day Thunder Knight like physically. The other one was trying to be like, look, you need to move on. We have to accept this. And we did that through violence, right? Like Final was able to show him like, this is how powerful we are. This is how good we are. And it was actually like a really well done moment, I think. I think they did a really fantastic job of showcasing what was happening here. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy seeing these mythical creatures be grounded in such a way, because that allows us to like kind of like connect with them on a level that you wouldn't usually connect with mythical creatures like that. Because like again, you could have just had them be like, I think they're saying that they want to hug us, you know, and that would have been fine too. But that's not what happened, right? That's not what happened. It grounded them in a very good way. Yeah, overall, I think that they did a fantastic job of Hyacinthia here. I think they made her character that was already lovely and we loved more and more interesting in this whole time here. And now we're moving on to the stuff with the with Aquila. We get to see exactly where that leads us, I suppose, in the future as well. I'm actually like very excited, I think, as well, to kind of see this take place. You know what I mean? I'm very excited to see this take place, but also very nervous. But I think she's making a believer out of me 100%, because I never want to doubt her. It's just that I always like, I'm just aware of Honkai Star Rail trying to like break our hearts, you know, 110%. And again, that's not me saying the game is predictable. That's me saying the game wants you to think at all times now, nobody is safe. You know, the game knows that you think this. So you have to see exactly where that's going to go as well. Guys, what we're going to do is before we go, I'm going to do the storybook stuff as well, as I've written. So why aren't you fluffy in my dream this time? We were fluffy last time? Fluffy? That's not important. I even look more like Stella in my dreams. It's like we're just looking to a mirror together. Isn't that nice? Even though I'm not fully awake yet, it's rare to see Cell this morning. It's not at the end of the day, and it's not a random encounter. We're going to start the whole day together. Just thinking about it makes my heart race. Close the book. I love starting the day with you, Mem. So the story is this here. So the new ones we have are these two, right? The Weaver of Gold and the Last Prince. So let's look at the Weaver of Gold here. Act 3. The Curtain of Swords and Weave.
A solo lyre's sound flows along the streets.
Oh, my lover. Why does your mood change faster than the clouds above?
Is he singing this?
The audience's face is covered in sorrow.
Oh, how I wish she has clear eyes that are quick to anger and laughter, and dimples that crease in smiles and frowns.
For the maiden he longs for has a body of alabaster and fingers carved by scalpels.
Wait.
In her runs blood of gold.
Oh, the garment maker?
Heart woven from threads.
Is that what he's talking about?
She has neither eyes nor dimples, lacking even a face. For she is Aglaya's garment maker, merely a demigod's serf.
She's a 10, but she doesn't have a face.
The gilded dressmaster, the executive of romance. How resplendent would her mansion be above the radiant, dawning clouds? Nervously, the visitor opens the doors, like parting curtains at a theater. The one with golden thread in hand is revealed, standing betwixt figures of stone.
Lady Aglaya, I am Apollos' retainer, here for an outfit to take to my master.
Respect in his voice.
Sideways glances as he bows, for the garment maker he adores is flanking her mistress, silent as a leaf accompanying a flower. Slender hands sculpted of ivory pull up the dress's train, as if with one breath alone, the maiden will be revived.
The creation of love and beauty indeed.
As the visitor thinks thus, his thoughts prickle the golden threads in the room.
If you wish to embrace such fantasies,
she declares thus on the other end of the golden thread,
you must beware of the scissors that can pierce through the chest.
Wait, hold on, I'm turning off auto for a second. Wait, what? It's like he said the creation of love and beauty indeed. But he's saying if you want to embrace this fantasy, you have to wear the scissors that can pierce through the chest?
In the ancient theater, there are thousands of plays, millions of shows, where even the god of romance was once an actor. The weaver below the stage savors the show for inspiration. The ostracized poet finally returned home. The adoring lovers separated by misfortune. The hero betrayed fires his deadly arrow into the traitor's heart. The thread known as romance is knit by all beings, by all love and hatred, beauty and sin, memories and prophecies. All that occurs are clothing indeed.
I'm not quite sure what this means, I'll be honest.
Look, the despondent servant buried his love. The dressmaster plucks it up, and into the garment maker's dress she weaves.
Is she saying that she puts emotions into these outfits through the thread? Right, there's like something that's put into the outfits like that. Like every time she makes a dress, it has emotions buried within it.
The elegant garment makers once had beautiful faces. Some as knights with swords, some as impassive priests, and put on pantomime after pantomime in the golden thread's light. Till the stage shook in the storm, and the black tide tainted the dancers' skirts. She wiped clean their visages and instilled armaments instead of silk.
So they used to have faces, but the black tide changed that?
Use the needle and thread as your sword.
Oh.
She requests the servants who cannot answer. The garment makers are elegant still. They turn bloody and stained slaughter into lithe rondos, for only then can they still dress in new gowns. Only then can romance survive into the morrow.
So, to me, it seemed that they were telling a story of the garment makers, and the garment makers seem to, like, in my view, first of all, they're also talking about the idea of, like, how I guess, like, emotions can be put through these dresses. The thread is not just, like, the idea of, like, making, you know, physical dresses. It's also, like, putting emotions in those dresses as well. But it seems like they're saying the garment makers at one point had heads and faces, but the Black Tide corrupted them, and in their place, Aglaia dressed them in silk rather than giving them swords. Is that what they're saying here? Maybe I'm wrong. But you guys can definitely tell me what that means as well. And then we have a... Do we have more? Oh, wow. We have a lot more. As I said always, what we're going to do is... We'll do 2 at a time and we will catch up. We will catch up. The willing to join the living.
Born with an evil curse. Her hand dips into lethal cinnabar and white lead to personally decorate the faces of the dead. Her skills are said to bestow beauty on anyone, even transforming their appearance completely. Many skills were born out of her seclusion, but it painted her dwelling in a gloomy vision. Only a select few have set foot in this mansion, and the thief and the weaver were 2 such lucky persons.
You're talking about a mansion in a gloomy dwelling,
The girl
or dwelling in a gloomy vision.
converses with all items in the house. Specimens, tea sets, and even pillows in profusion, as if she can hear the responses of these non-living things.
I have always lived in isolation.
That's Caster's words, right?
Out of courtesy. This is how I practice my words.
So she was practicing speech on, like, different items around the house?
'Tis hard to believe her explanation. Her face when talking shows such a gentle disposition that unless she is telling fabrications, she must regard her partners as mere children. Thus, people pass these rumors down. Within the area of her encirclement, all things became frozen, escaping time's increments. It is an exaggeration, that is certain. People only found an ancient lion's head in battle's ruined armaments.
Those words are true.
The head itself was nearly dead.
Though they won in fierce battle, the warriors were powerless to turn the tide. It was the embrace where death dwelled that gave early release from their pain.
Is the lion's head stuck to the wall?
This is how death escapes time. She keeps every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart.
Wait.
Out of her numerous works,
do you think
butterflies and flowers often stand out stark? Ignite them, and you can almost hear the maker's remark. Even in death's silence, her sound can still be heard.
I'm kind of confused on the last page. Do you think the last page is them saying that, like, she, like, when she keeps these soul, like, throughout life, Casters has kept the souls with her even after they've died, so she's still carrying that weight in some way? And here they're saying, like, it's her, even in death's silence, her sound can be still heard. So even in her executions or her passing of people on, there's still, like, a noise that comes from it?
It is a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Few have the honor to be graced with such work. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift, and the reason she gives is rather far-fetched.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
That's Aglaia, right?
The power of time is boundless, but there is one thing that it cannot conquer.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
No.
The beloved Goldweaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her the art of weaving and threads. It has been said that the maiden has works that the holy city possesses. But this is the judgment the Goldweaver expresses.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
Okay, so again, beautiful artwork again, once again. So I didn't want to complete that. Is she saying that, like, at this point people don't understand the power that she has, right? What she's able to bring to the table in terms of casters, but people will eventually be able to comprehend it after a while. But right now it just seems like they're not able to, like, truly understand what she brings forth at this point in time. And Caster seems to be, like, you know, even saying, like, you know, people see me as kind of maybe one-dimensional, kind of like, this is all I am, you know, people don't look beyond this. And she even thought that herself as well at one point too, where, like, her hands are cold, she couldn't even, like, do anything else for people. So I wonder if that's, like, what they're trying to get at there. We'll do one more as well. We'll do one more. I'm not going to be doing them all, obviously, because again, it's just, it will not, they already get confusing for me sometimes, and I really love these. I think they're so beautiful. I just want to make sure that I'm always pacing myself with this stuff. The day the White Lion went on the campaign.
None may approach that battlefield. The lone army of Kremnos, an obstacle on the flame chase journey. He ordered his troops to stand aside. That was the first meeting between hero and prince.
Was that Finon?
The two men fought for 10 nights unceasingly, till the combat drew to
You'd get to know someone, wouldn't you, after that? You get to know someone for
Neither
sure.
scored a single victory, nor conceded a single defeat. None know why this man's fate is always overshadowed by a lone number decreed. Just like how none can ascertain how the flame-chasing heroes convinced this man. It was not mutual appreciation, nay. For in his memories, 7 sentences were all his mother to him ever spake.
So he only remembers
somehow,
a few words from his mother?
That leader who weaves the golden threads recounted one of the 7 with ease.
Oh, yeah? She was able to speak something his mother said?
There is no right or wrong in the man's heart.
The lion has its own historian. And the history of the hunt should not be held by the hunter alone.
And thus, he speaks little. Others once guessed he regards the holy city as his home, for he seeks a land to belong.
So he wants somewhere to belong. So Akuma actually felt like it's home. And again, I think he probably did feel that way with all the people there as well, you know? The line of, like, in the history of the hunt shall not be held by the hunter alone. I think that, is that maybe saying that, like, you know, it's not just me who's on this journey. It's not just, it's a companionship. It's everyone.
As the king to his people, it is the first gift to them he brings. But as per the rule with gifts, once given away, the gifter will never repossess this
Yeah.
thing. The journey is long, yet none ever dare to anger the man.
Except for Finon, who rage baits him all the time.
Not because of his unrestrained manners, but because every meal the heroes partook in were all cooked with his peerless skill. One sight serves falsehoods in the woods. He has relied on scent since young to distinguish guests and obtain gains.
So it's almost like he's, like, literally, like, almost like a hunter, right? But it's like, no one dares to anger this man, not because of unrestrained manners, because every meal he hears partaken. So it's like, the people that followed him were like, this is our guy. He's feeding us.
Yet there are always exceptions. The man's arch-enemy often puzzled why their food was always borderline nauseating.
Is that Finon?
He still recalls the day he entered the holy city. One who worships strife is bound to have rumors rife.
True.
Even insects consume each other. And he's no less than the Mad King's kin.
Oh, is he saying that like because he killed his dad that he's like an insect?
It matters little, for the man always considered himself an enemy to the world. He paves the road so that one day his peers would match his anger within. Yet, until the prophecy turned true, none in the holy city he ever did ruin.
So it matters little for the man is always considered enemy to the world. So he kind of like always like had like this kind of chip on his shoulder, it feels like. So we didn't get the third one? Did we skip one somehow? Do we have to get that in a side quest or something? He always had a chip on his shoulder, it seems. But even so, he's paving a road so that everyone else could. And I feel like that's kind of the way with Kratos. Even though Kratos like always like had this kind of like a little bit of a you know, something against him. It did feel kind of like that he was like, no, I'm still doing this for you guys. And in the end, he did do something that was just plainly for his people. We also get some gifts for this too. Apparently, the next banner is not a spoiler, so I'll be able to check out the next banner. What's so interesting about that is that I don't know how many gems I've saved up. I don't know if you can check in the menu how much gems. We'll check together. I'll wait for you guys. We'll check it together how much gems I saved up. I want to be scared. I haven't been logging in every day. I want to just show how much like gems you can save up and how many things you can get from Honkai Star Rail. Basically just by logging in. That's what I want to show you guys. Just by logging in, like 2 to 3 times a week and doing missions in the main story. We're gonna see how many freaking wishes I got just from doing that over the course of like 2 months. And I guarantee you it's gonna be a lot. And I'm not saying, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm saying like, well, Genshin doesn't give us anything, right? But like, factually so, Honkai does give us more than Genshin in terms of like wishes. They do. It's just factual. 110%. Guys, honestly, I've had such an amazing time with this. I actually went longer than I thought I would. But that's just because obviously like this game is always like, you know, it happens. Like it happens to other games I play too, like, you know, I'm never like the rule is with Honkai Star Rail is that I tend to go like either like 140 to 2 hours, right? 1 hour 40 to 2 hours. But we don't time it in that way, right? Say with Ace Attorney, I always like to try and go an hour, right? And sometimes we go over an hour. In fact, a lot of times we go over an hour. Same with Half-Life, we go over an hour, right? I don't like to time it, but I like to have like, you know, this idea in my head of what I want for like a video or whatever like that. But I still think that like I've been having such a good time with this, and I think the characters are so strong that it's just an incredible thing to log in and play with these characters all the time. It's really, really incredible. So it's always a joyous experience even through the tears. It's always an incredible experience even through everything that's happening right now, and even through all the darkness that's happening. It's still an incredible experience, and I really, really enjoy it in that sense. So I'm still very like grateful even through the sadness to have such a great experience with this game. If you want to see these videos early, this video came out Tuesday, and you can see it for €1 or whatever that is in your currency, and that was on YouTube members, which is the join button that's it's like right below the video screen. And then also the Patreon is in the description below. That is also where you can get the videos early as well. And you get these videos early. We make about 10 videos a week, and generally the majority are early. There's only like the Tuesday Let's Play slot and Roma Reacts every 2 weeks. So there's like 4 videos out of all those videos, out of 40 videos, basically 40 something videos a month that are not early. But all the Honkai Star Rail videos are generally early. We haven't had one that hasn't been early, to be honest. If you want your name going across in the credits at the end of every single video, it is €10 or whatever it is in your currency on Patreon and on YouTube members. And if you want your name read out verbally at the end of every single video on Patreon and on YouTube members, it's €15 or whatever it is in your currency. And all of those things, the lowest tier up to the highest tier, are all just for the month as well. And I want to say thank you to the highest tier. First, the patrons, which is Typharo2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, The Ghost of Igazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, The Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Liam, Heike Sperian, Jared Beenham, Neo Showerite, Leo 200, Malcolm Kunde, and then at the highest tier of YouTube, Royal Grammar 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.